Welcome to the zoo. You are now entering the Outkast podcast. Please don't feed the animals, and please feed the trolls. Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the zoo. You are now entering the Outkast podcast. Please don't feed the animals, and please feed the trolls. Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the zoo. You are now entering the Outkast podcast. Please don't feed the animals, and please feed the trolls. Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the Welcome to the zoo. You are now entering the Outkast podcast. Please don't feed the animals, and please feed the trails. Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the zoo. 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 You are now entering the Outkast podcast. Please don't feed the animals, and please feed the trolls. Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the zoo.
just an outcast. Own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. I own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. I'm just an outcast. Own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. I own it, own it, own it. I'm just an outcast, yeah, I'm just an outcast. Don't agree with me, that's fine, cause I'm an outcast. Outcast, outcast, standing on my own path. Say what you want about me, I'm still an outcast. I'm just an outcast, yeah, I'm just an outcast. Don't agree with me, that's fine, cause I'm an outcast. Yeah, outcast, yeah, I wear that crown fast. Truth over narrative, that's the outcast soundtrack. Copy me, you a copycat. Snitch on me cause y'all just rats. Mad I put a curtain back and exposed all the fake acts. Yeah, I see through the bullshit. Everybody talking but they clueless. I just came with the blueprint. Now they mad cause I proved it. They was laughing in the beginning. Now the room getting quiet when I'm in it. Truth hit hard like a sentence. Now they praying that I stop the business, but I won't though. I expose though. Fake kings wearing fake clothes. I just talk what I know, bro. Truth shining like a strobe though. I'm just an outcast, yeah, I'm just an outcast. Don't agree with me, that's fine, cause I'm an outcast. Outcast, outcast, standing on my own path. Say what you want about me, I'm still an outcast. Outcast, out, 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 out. I'm just an outcast. Own it, 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 own it. I'm just an outcast. Own it, 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 own it. They hate when the mask slip. Truth hit hard like a casket. Everybody wanna talk loud till the facts get drastic. I was never in the in crowd, always moving like a misfit. Now they studying the blueprint, cause the outcast did it. Yeah, they copied and denied. Act tough, then go silent. All that gossip and the lie ain't nothing but a ride. But I'm built for the pressure. Every bar like a lecture. When the truth hit the room, watch the fake get exposed forever. I'm just an outcast, yeah, I'm just an outcast. Don't agree with me, that's fine, cause I'm an outcast. Outcast. Own it, 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 own it. I'm just an outcast. Own it, 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 own it.
Outkast podcast. Somebody please take my mod stick. I don't wanna be here. You are now entering the zoo.
Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the zoo. Podcast.
Somebody please take my mod stick. I don't wanna be here. You are now entering the zoo.
Welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the zoo.
Somebody please take my mod stick. I don't wanna be here. Somebody please take my mod stick. I don't wanna be here. Somebody please take my mod stick. I don't wanna be here. Somebody please take my mod stick. I don't wanna be here.
Welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the zoo. Welcome to the Outkast podcast. Welcome to the zoo.
All right. We're here. Shadow Ghost is here. He needs a couple minutes. That's okay. Give us some shout outs and get some shout outs. Angela's here. Dominique is here. Roseanne is here. Diana. James is here. Granny Noodles. Leslie is here. Love Tina is here. Blue Rain is here. Meg Pizzle is here. Bad Bunny is here. Good to see you. The Musical Cherubs is here. Crime and Chaos is here. Sweet Melissa is here. Good to see ya. Tracy Saracena is here. I gotta mute Discord since it's fucking making noises. Stone Entrance is here. Good to see ya. Love Tina is here. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Trying to scroll through the names. Marlena is here. BJT is here. Good to see ya, my friends. The White Rabbit is here. Good night to you as well. Miss Biggs is here. Good to see you as well. Lisa is here. Good to see you. Crud Dog Studio is here. Good to see you. Hemisphere is here. Good to see you. Julie Lester is here. LJ Kaz is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Shadow Ghost is here. We're going to give him a couple minutes. Whenever you're ready, Shadow, I'll share the link. Kathy Indie Zone is here. Good to see you as well. I'm scrolling. Gilly is here. Good to see you. I'm scrolling, baby. I'm scrolling. B is for Becca is here. The Snarky P is here. Jack Deary is here. Good to see you. Latitude is here. Good to see you. Wicca is here. Good to see you. Lore is here. Tommy Boy is here. Peachy Pie is here. Good to see you. Much love to you. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Tanya is here. Good to see you, Tanya. Critic Rick is here. Gilly was here before you, Critic Rick, so Gilly's going to have to write you up tonight. Whitney is here. Good to see you, Whitney. Much love to you. Bottomless. You got no pants on tonight, huh, there, Matrix? I see you. Good to see you. Outkast, what's up, Crime and Chaos? How you doing? Yeah. I don't know why I picked Friday. I fucking had baseball today. That shit just drains me. We whipped their ass, though. Here's Shadow. Here's the link. Nope, that's the wrong link. Hold on. There's the link right there. I'll pin it for you for a few seconds, then I'm going to remove it once you're up here. Hey, how's that going there, Kathy, with the, I thought we had some updates on that Hunter. Thought we had a few updates over there. It's pinned in the chat whenever you get a chance, Shadow Ghost. How do you guys hear me, okay? We're going to test our, Tech Death Hippies here. Good to see you. We're going to test our audio. Once he gets up here. My hair's a mess. I didn't do it. It's all dry. Well, what the fuck, Critic Rick? Ocean's Blue is here. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm a coach, a baseball coach for the kids. It gets intense out there, too. I never knew it would be so tense. What's up, Clyde? Good to see you. Fuck, I'm like the leader of the pack out there. The fucking parents all look to me. Should we fight, Outkast? Should we go get them? I'm like, relax. These kids are fucking 8 for fuck's sakes. Kevin St. Pierre is here. And Shadow Ghost, it's pinned below if you don't see it. What up, Jules? Good to see you. Chriser's here. Much love to you. Nikki Arter is here. Good to see you. Swing, bada, swing. Oh, there's my man Shadow. Let me add him up here. Yo, what up, Shadow?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good. I hear you good.
Hold on, man. Let me set this
Go
up.
ahead. Go ahead. Take your time.
I just got back. Give me a. I'm my bad.
No, you're good. I could just yell at people in the chat. You're awesome. You're all right.
Lower this real quick. Catch this up. Move back. And set this up. 45. Okay.
Shout out Farmzilla for the donation. Much appreciated over in the Kickster.
Background. This one more black.
Make sure you guys thank Farmzilla. What up, Big CWS? Good to see you. Make sure. Okay, now we could share. I'm going to get rid of the StreamYard. I'm going to remove that. And we'll take Blue Rain. We'll pin Shadow Ghost's page. I know the majority of you guys always follow. I already follow him. But if you're new to my channel, make sure you guys go give him a follow as well. It's going to be pinned below in the chat. So if you don't know who Shadow is, he's got great content. Go follow his page. What's up, Susie Mac? Good to see you. How you doing over there, Shadow? You still need some few minutes?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready. Is my mic good? Is it too loud, or do I need to lower it?
No, you actually sound perfect to me.
Okay. So what's good, man?
Not much.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to. How long do you need me tonight?
I need you as long as you could give me. I don't, it don't gotta be super crazy. What do you need? Talk to me. What do you need? You want to get a certain time?
No.
I'm not gonna go 5 hours with you, that's for sure. But maybe 2. If we could get 3, that's fine as well.
Okay. We could try to.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. What were you saying?
We could try to aim for. I'll try to do 2. I gotta go to work tomorrow, but not in the morning though. At night, but still, you know how it can mess up your schedule.
Yeah, usually when I bring people on, I don't do like, I go live for 4 or 5 hours. I won't do that to you, just so you know. I won't.
Okay.
Like we'll have a conversation. I got a couple questions for you, and then we'll feed off of that. We'll see where that takes us. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll go from there, and yeah. 3 hours max. 2.5 should be good. Well, I'm setting up shit here now, too, because I wanted
Take your time, bro. Take your time.
I wanted to fix the screen. It was too big.
Matter of fact, let me get my drink.
Yeah, go ahead. Boom, boom, boom. We do gotta... Hold on. Thank you, Julia Lester, for the PayPal. And I probably won't shout out donations. You don't have to donate, but if you do, we'll give shout outs after the show. I don't want to interrupt if we're in something deep here. Okay, I'm about ready. Just let me know when you're ready, and I'll just start out with the basic shit.
I'm good.
Here.
I'm ready whenever you are, bro.
Okay.
I
here.
just
Go ahead.
Where's the background for this? Every time I come on, I think it's controlled by you, right? Is the background? Do you have a dark theme?
Yeah, I do. What's yours? White?
It's just because of my eyes, man. I don't know what's going on. I got to get an eye test soon.
Yeah, but mine's dark, so you're not sharing the same background as me. Yours is pure white.
No, I'm talking about the screen. Can I control it? The outside of the... Oh, you know what? Maybe I could do a full screen over here. Hold on. I think I got it.
It's white for you, though?
Yeah, like the border.
So the box is dark gray, but the outside of that is...
like the StreamYard is there. It's like... And then on the outside...
It's white. Yeah, I know.
It's all white, and it's like I can't...
yeah, you want to go to like night mode or something.
Yeah, just like a little darker.
Oh, fuck's sakes.
You know what? That's fine. You know what? I got it, Outkast. I'm going to lower the brightness on my monitor. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I can't tell you off the rip, but I think there's a setting you have to do, because that happens to me too. And it goes to that light
Yeah,
mode.
it's always really bright, It's weird.
Yeah, I already know how that is.
But anyway, man, go ahead. I'm ready whenever you're ready, bro.
All right, so basically, this is Shadow Ghost. If you guys don't know, his page is pinned below. And we'll just start out with a basic question. I start out with basic questions. Shadow Ghost, how long have you been doing the Idaho 4-4?
I started when I got up here on a live with you.
How long do you think it was?
So I was doing boxing content for a couple years, and so I've had a channel for like maybe 5 years. No, probably longer than that. But anyway, I've always liked true crime
Right.
as well as boxing, and I was something about the Idaho Ford. It didn't seem right, so I remember I was just typing in, Idaho 4 or
Right,
Idaho
right.
4 case, and then your channel came up, and it was a couple days. I don't know if it was a couple of days before Thanksgiving, but anyway, long story short, I saw your live. I watched the live from inside the comment section. And the next time you came, I think it was the following live when I came up, I saw you was up there with Birdie and somebody else. And you was like, anybody can click the link. And I think I clicked the link. And then you and Birdie was up there. So we started talking about the case. And then I said that I was interested in looking into the case, and I have a channel, and it was you and Birdie that was like, hey man, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
And y'all was telling me what to expect and this and that. And that was in Thanksgiving. So the following day, I want to say like 2 days later, I went, downloaded all the documents. And then I think it was like a week later, I went out and bought a printer because I don't know why, but it's easier for me to just, I have all the, like most of my paperwork is back here,
Right, 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 right.
all there. And then I have like I would say like a OCD type of, I think I'm OCD. I might even have no, seriously, I think I might even have a form of autism. But
I think we all do, but that's all right.
I have like this regimen where anytime I think of something, I write it down. So I
Right.
have like a huge notebook here. Like for instance,
But that's why we love you, because you're organized and you speak
like
a
for
lot of
instance,
common
right
sense.
here, right? I have this the supplemental narrative orders, and I have these notes from each report that stick out to me. So for instance, sequence number 14, neighbor says he never saw the motion light turned on. Stuff like that.
Right.
And so I have a whole notebook where I just keep these little things. If I see a timestamp, I write it down. Like this one I found underneath my bed. Sequence number 89. Bethany claims she walked home around 1 a.m. Check footage in Linda Lane to see if you see her walking home. Stupid stuff like that.
Right, right. Well, it's not stupid. It's just things that catch your eye that you think, hey, I should
Yeah.
look into this a little bit more than just reading it. Okay, so since when did you start actually following this case, though? So we got that out the way when you
Yeah.
were like, okay, I came on the
Um,
Outkast podcast. I said, fuck it. I've
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah,
for
so-
5 years.
Yeah, the that was weird. So when it happened, I was going out with this chick, and she texted me one day and was like, "Hey, did you see the news?" And I'm like, "What?" I thought we was at war or something. She's like, "Nah, man, these 4 kids got killed," and she's not even like into true crime like that. So for her to be texting me, I'm like, "Okay, let me see this." And then I looked and I saw, and then right away something didn't seem right. Because they were like, well, the roommates were in the house
Right,
for a
right.
long period, and I'm like, the roommates was in. So I'm thinking, like in my mind, I'm like, this has got to be a huge house, bro. This has got to be humongous.
Right, you would figure
you
that
not
they
to,
were, you
and-
would figure
and-
they were really far away to not capture what
Yeah,
was
because
happening.
it didn't. There was just things that didn't make any sense to me, right? So that's when, and then I think it was like a couple months later is when I started, and at this time I was still, I think this is after, I think it was around the time he took. When did he take the plea? When did
I
he
would
take the plea?
say last year, summer, July.
Yeah,
if I'm right.
yeah, because I think around that time Canelo was going to be fighting Crawford. And I remember in the boxing community, I was getting sick and tired of the boxing community at that time. And I think I told my subscribers, I said, I think after the Canelo and Crawford fight, I'm going to try to switch genres for a bit, just to try it out. And then that's when I started kind of looking into the case, more of like just following it, because there's a difference between following a case and actually researching a case. But
Yeah.
following it probably since it first happened. But as far as like looking into the investigation itself, I would definitely say it happened the day after I came up here which had to be around Thanksgiving. So this is after he took the plea. This had to be around like Thanksgiving. I got to go back and look at when my first
That
episode was.
that,
'Cause,
that
like,
makes that makes a little bit of sense. So,
yeah. When was the last time you had Birdie up here?
shit, it's been months, man. It's been
Yeah, so
months.
it was when you had Birdie up here. It was when you had Birdie up here, and I was talking with Birdie.
Yeah, cause I started in, I'm about 16 months, 17 months. I'm in, right. So I've been here around
Right.
17 months. So if you came in November, that was probably around, I started in around March of 2025. So March
Okay.
was like my year. So then I didn't have Birdie on right away. It was maybe, a good 4, 5, 6 months while I've already was advanced, starting up and shit. So yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
around there.
Okay. So it was definitely after that live, and then I started my series, and I noticed right away that something was weird too. Now, me personally, I don't force my beliefs on anybody, but I believe in God,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed right away that I became addicted to the case, and I also started having weird things happening to me. I was having nightmares. I was getting sick, and this could just be attributed to a bunch of other things.
Right,
But
right, right.
I do know that things don't seem right, and this is why I kind of understand why some people would think that in some levels this case could be sort of a psyop, but not in the way that people think of. Because when you think of a psyop, you think of, it depends on how you want to look at it. But
Right, right.
I believe that people were unalived, and I believe that there's a protect. I believe there was a huge effort to protect that area, especially the university, in regards to how that affects that area. And if you just do research and look at how much income that university, not just that, but even the one that Brian was going to, kids move out there. It affects the real estate. People get jobs. People move out there. Brings in money.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
we're talking millions and millions of dollars. When this crime first happened, people were wanting to go. People were leaving.
Yeah, get the fuck out. Yeah,
They
for
were
sure.
leaving, right? They were like, I'm gonna finish my college and go online, or I'm gonna switch semesters. They don't like stuff like that. And so I believe that there was a number one, an effort to immediately protect that area, and then also I believe the first thing, their priority was to make it look like it's safe.
Right, right. Like it was a targeted attack. So
Right, right,
basically,
right. Don't leave.
no one
Carry on
else
with
is gonna get hurt.
no one
These
else is
guys
gonna
were
get
actually
right,
targeted. You guys have
right.
no need to worry. Yeah,
And
absolutely. From day one, they didn't want the public. Where you think they would have been like, there should be a fucking warning out there or something like alert, like killer on the loose. They
right,
didn't want panic. You
yeah.
know.
And it becomes extremely weird when you take a look at the what is it? Let me see right here. When you go to the judicial branch, do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The Idaho judicial branch page. So what I normally do, so when I make a video, right, I have a monitor right here and a monitor right here.
Mm-hmm.
I take the supplemental narrative reports, I put the King Road footage on my left monitor, and then I read the reports. But a lot of times I look at the reports and I also go up to the judicial branch, because when you look at the dates on the left, and I'm talking about when memorandums and objectives, is it? I hate the court terms, but when they're putting in objections and all that stuff, like, when people say, well, if Brian Koberger was, if he was, if he was innocent, why is he objecting to the King Road footage? That stuff is normal. Every
Yeah,
trial,
yeah. It's
right?
all.
The
Yeah.
defense is objecting to stuff. The state is objecting to stuff. But when you look and you follow that and you look at the dates and you look at how, when after Brian Koberger is arrested, and when you look at how the chain of custody, especially with the knife sheath, right? It's very ironic that the one thing that they say unalive these victims has a chain of custody issue. But not only that, Othram has a contract with them. You could see it in the forensic dump, okay? Not only in
Right.
the forensic dump, but they even talk about this contract when you go and you look at the stuff.
So they have a contract with who exactly? The college?
They have a contract with the Moscow Police Department. I can
Okay.
read it to you.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
So is that normal or abnormal for
I think
Othram?
I don't think it's abnormal, but I'll tell you what is abnormal. What's abnormal is they go into the scene, right? And they do a whole bunch of testing, and you can see this when you go in the forensic dump. So they go in there and they start processing the scene, and they're checking for everything, and nothing comes back in CODIS, okay?
Right.
You have a 3-person mixture underneath, I think Kaylee or Maddie's fingernails, one of them. Man, there's thousands of pages in the forensic dump. It's so much information that even a person like me that has good information, I got to keep going back to it because it's just so much.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, sometimes you miss little things. But you have a 3-person mixture profile underneath the fingernails, and then there's it's unknown male B, which is found in the in between the first floor and the 3rd floor, and it's on the blood spot of the rail, and it's a blood spot. This isn't trace or touch or anything,
No,
and
it's an
there's
actual
a
blood
huge
spot.
discrepancy. Yeah,
Right.
it's a blood spot, bro. And then you have the polar penguin glove, which was found outside in the parking lot, and that is referred to as unknown male D, right? So you have that there, and what's very weird is they don't find nothing comes back to CODIS, right? And then Othram is like, hey, we could do something, right? And they go and they do this thing where it's called a SMP profile. Now I'm not an expert in this, but I believe a SMP profile is it's like a genetic marker that identifies a person. It's like a single letter variant, okay? And this comes back to so-called like 4 brothers. But the genetic marker, the SMP profile, and Ann Taylor, this is what I'm saying. When you go to the judicial branch and I don't know if I'm calling that page correctly, but where you find all the court proceedings and filings and stuff like that, you'll see that Ann Taylor and the defense, they had an expert ready to go up there and say, well, first off, the SMP profile you have for those brothers is extremely low, meaning that it's not what you normally would need to zero in, right? So when you're looking at the dates, you'll see that the defense is like, hey, we got an expert saying that they're going to come in there and say that this profile that y'all say links to these brothers, it doesn't even meet the requirements or whatever, right? Or it's very low standard.
Yeah, I think in the book it was saying, I don't know how true the book is, right? But I heard it was like
No,
60% less than an actual...
I have it right here, matter of fact. I can read it to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have I know a lot of people like to go off the book, and I like the book too, but I usually use the direct.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know how I am with this. I
No,
prefer
you
to
explained it. You got OCD with
yeah, I have OCD. And
No,
this
it's
is
all
why-
good.
And it's crazy too, because one of my biggest problems is, and even my subscribers point this out to me, I have a problem with addressing the negativity, and I need to really stop that.
Yeah, I would just don't even worry about it.
Problems, one of my biggest flaws. And
It's never gonna end, bro. So
It's never gonna end,
so it is what it is.
I
It's
think
more
I'm
as you
doing
show
a better
attention.
job. I
Yeah.
think I'm doing a better job at that lately, but I'm getting to a point where I don't even address them anymore, because why am I addressing somebody who I'm almost positive isn't researching what I'm researching? It's just a waste of time. And then not only that, but you got to understand that there's a group of people that even when you show them something straight up, they act like you ever see a person that you're breaking it down to them and you're showing them, and then they just act like they're ignorant when it comes to this. So it's like I'm wasting my time. But anyway, there's a proceeding right here. Let me read it to you. Now, I'm actually making a video on this coming up. Now, another thing too, if I could just say real quick, I don't want to get off track, but I believe that my style of content prevents me from talking about certain things. And the reason why is because I want to have a different style than any other content creator. So my videos are more of cinematic in a way. But
I think you have a unique style, and you need
I
to
have a
keep
very
it.
unique style, but that style also plays against me because there's a lot of things that I know about this case that I haven't talked about, and I believe my style prevents me from doing that.
Well,
For
you
example,
don't have to stick to one style as well. So you need
Right,
to
that's what I'm
understand
saying.
that as well. I mean,
and
fuck.
and the reason is because if I just start off let me see right here. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, let me see if I can find this real quick. Okay. If I just started off my video and I said something like, the terms of service, certain genetic genealogy databases in foreign law, the state seeks in order to describe, if I just start reading out of the damn transcript the way that they have this court lingo, no offense, but
A lot of people won't understand it.
right, and people are going to click off.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
So,
sometimes
and
it's good to dumb shit down, not for
right,
dummies, but to, you know what I
exactly,
mean?
you understand. So
Yeah,
I
I
try
do.
to break things down in layman's terms while making it sort of cinematic, but stay with the facts to try to keep the person engaged. So I spend a lot of time on my content, and I think I have like 200, 300 gigs of work that I've never uploaded because I'm my biggest critic, and I'm like,
I'm the
man, they're
same
gonna
way.
click off, and I don't want to spend hours on a video. People are gonna click off, but there's a lot of things that I really don't talk about, but I'm gonna change that because I'm gonna make a separate part where it's like I just talk about the direct stuff with the court proceedings, and then I'll make my other videos. But right here, when you go to the judicial branch, right, and you find the motions that was filed by the defense, right here.
Right.
Let me see right here. Uh, okay. Hold on one second.
No, you're good, man. Do what you gotta do. We're no rush here.
Okay, go to my documents right here. And where is it at right here? Okay. Um,
And what are you exactly looking for right now,
I am
Shadow Ghost?
looking. Okay, so where the state filed a motion in regards to. Okay, so I could just explain it to you. So
Yeah, go ahead.
what
Yeah,
happened was, Othram, they processed the crime scene. Nothing comes back in CODIS. Okay, Othram says, hey, we have a contract. We'll try to see what we could do through genetic genealogy, right? So they have this SMP profile, and it comes back to 4 brothers, but it's low. The statistics is low, and it even goes into it. And also, Ann Taylor, she had a point too. She said that the state had a habit of misleading the public and the court system in regards to Brian Koberger's evidence. Very, very misleading. So the more paper cut example of this is when Ashley Banfield shows Brian Koberger walking in Costco and says, this is him hours after he unalives these beautiful college students. Right now, if you've never seen any of this evidence and you just hear Ashley Banfield say that,
yeah.
you're gonna be like, this bastard.
Right.
Right. Or right.
It's It's basically trial by media. They tried to make him guilty
Right.
before fucking. You know what I mean? The
Right, and
evidence
they're
is
like, look at
presented.
him, not a care in the world, and it's like, or he could just be walking in Costco and had nothing to do with it, right?
I mean,
So-
yeah. From my opinion, he looks less guilty.
Exactly. So
That's just me, though.
Ann Taylor said that they were doing that in regards to the so-called statistical analysis, that they were using words, right, like the octillion, the tructillion, the ductillion,
Right. They use these big words, and
Right.
Yeah, I get it.
And Ann Taylor had an expert where the guy was like, well, they're using these words, but yet when you look at the correct terminology and the way that they're using it, it's not probable. So basically
Right.
she caught them using it in a sentence, but if you were to say that to like and if nobody objected to it, and if nobody said anything, and if you was in the juror, you'd be like, wow, that's a high statistical thing, right? And she's like, well, no, my expert is saying that that's a low statistic.
Right.
But the way that you're saying it, right?
Yes.
It's sort of like when Bill Thompson says, we cannot prove that Brian Koberger had was there or had any, but we can place him there. I mean, well, you could go to the Amazon Prime documentary and they'll show you that he literally lived minutes away, and even the guy from the university is like that he lived so close that you could walk there.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's like a
so
10-minute
again,
drive. I would, it's like a.
it's misleading.
It
But
is.
Othram steps in, and they get this S&P profile. It comes back to Four Brothers. It's low. It's a low percentage. Then something happens, and there's a meeting. There's a meeting with Bill Thompson and the FBI, and the FBI and Bill Thompson tells Othram to hand over their work, whatever they did,
They want
to
it.
the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they hand it over to the FBI. All of a sudden, the FBI comes back. Now they have a larger S&P profile.
Yeah, doubled in size, right?
It doubled in size. Okay, so all of a sudden, now when it comes back, they're able to do the warrants, and then now they use that information. And I don't know if it was Ancestry.com. I don't know what one of those databases.
Like 21 and
it-
Me or some fucking shit.
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah,
the
one
fuck
of
it's
those. I think it
called.
was that one. I'm not sure which one, but then again, some of those you're not even supposed to use the information from there. But or at least we are protected apparently, right? But that leads to the trash pull and everything like that. And when you take a look at that, it's very suspicious because I could show you right here.
Show me what you got, big dog. We're here. Shout out Julie Lester for the back-to-back donations. Appreciate you.
They had a they had a press conference, and I've talked about this many times. Police department has a press conference.
You know what the date is on that? If you don't, it
Yeah,
don't
I got
matter.
it.
But if you do, let's
Yeah,
hear it.
12:30. No, wait, no. Is it 12? I think it's 12:30. Hold on. No, actually, no. That might be the day I printed it. Here goes one page of it. Let me see if I can find the front page and give you the date of that. But I am almost positive this is before they had Brian, even as a suspect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're saying that they're currently working on whatever, and they're saying that Jack Decor and here it is right here. Okay, hold on. Okay. When was this? It just says Moscow police update. I need to find the original date, but I just printed it right off of their website right here. And it doesn't have I gotta check to see when the date was. I have it on my video. I show it on my video. It's weeks after the crime. Okay.
Okay.
And it says, okay, it says the autopsies were conducted on the 17th. So this is after the 17th. Okay.
All right.
They're saying, okay, this is how you know it's before Brian Koberger, Outkast, because in here they're saying detectives are seeking outside surveillance taken from 3 a.m. to 6. So they're asking the public, okay? So we know this is early on in the investigation, bro. Okay. They're over here saying, people mentioned that Kaylee had a stalker, but detectives were unable to corroborate the statement. Now, of course, law enforcement says things to keep their cards at play. But when you sit there and say, at this time, the investigation, detectives do not believe the following people are involved in this crime. 2 surviving roommates, male in grub truck surveillance video, private party driver who took Kaylee and Madison home on November 13th. The male Kaylee and Madison called numerous times, which is also known as Jack Decor. Any individual inside the residence when the 911 call was placed. Now, of course, they could just be saying these things to make sure that things are, to not scare the public.
Right.
Until you go again and you look where Ann Taylor asks for Jack Decor's fingerprints, because they're trying to find, they're also trying to match, like they're doing their own investigation to see if they can find another person that's involved. Not only that, but Steve G had a lawyer.
Right.
Steve G had a lawyer who was also looking into Kaylee, and his lawyer found no connection with Kaylee and Brian Koberger or anything like that. So you had multiple people looking into different avenues.
Yeah, he
And
hired private investigators, I believe, even more than a lawyer. I thought he hired his own PIs.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I have I know that they were whatever Steve G's lawyers were doing. All I know is I know that one of them, I don't know if one of them or a spokesperson or somebody who spoke with them, they came on and there was they're doing like a 20-minute talk or whatever, and they're saying, oh, they didn't find nothing that led to Brian knowing Kaylee or whatever. But my point is that there's even a part where Ann Taylor is, I think, asking for the Templars, which is also known as fingerprints.
Okay.
And they're saying we don't have Jack DeCourt's fingerprints. So they didn't have his DNA or anything taken at that time when she's asking for them, which I find that very, very odd. Another thing is the judge filed a motion ordering Othram to hand over their work, right? Because the one thing with IGG and the FBI, which I find this to be very not fair,
Right.
isn't the purpose of having a fair trial. But from my understanding, and I don't know if this is state or federal thing, but they're not required to hand over how we, like, oh,
Right.
show us where you got that sample. I don't think the FBI is required to do that. The judge has to be like, hand it over. And the judge puts an order in and asks them to they're like, okay, well, in order for Brian to have a fair trial, I'm asking you to hand over that work and give it to the defense, right? So then like months go by, and then there's another order where they're like, well, where is it? And then Othram is saying, oh, well, we gave it to you. And then Ann Taylor's defense expert is like, what do you mean? The judge ordered you to give it to us. You gave it to us. You're saying you did give it to us. That's all we have. And they start playing this little blame game. Like, you know, when you call Amazon and you're like, where's my package? And the customer service is like, well, it's the logistics. And the logistics is like, oh, it's over there in distribution. And they're like playing this little blame game.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the expert concludes, now this is, I don't know if this is a fact or not, but he concludes, if the judge is saying, hand it over to me, and you're saying we gave you everything, and it's not here, the only thing I can conclude is it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Or you didn't give me everything.
Right. Or you didn't give me anything. And this is the type of stuff that was going on in this trial, leading up to this trial. It was, to me, very, very, not only unfair, but it almost looks like this man was a patsy, or
Well,
almost like he was, framed.
Yeah, it was corrupt. That's why when I look
know what
at
I mean?
this shit, it looks corruption to the core. It's just corrupt everywhere you look. You're going to see it.
Even with the way Brian Koberger comes into the picture, right? When you look at if you look at the ISP reports and you go to there's this section, I try to put them in order, but there's like this tip section, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about this in one of my videos. You look at the tips, right? They got over 40,000 tips. Now, this is normal because it's a national case. So you're going to have tips all over the place. But some of these tips was like credible, in my opinion, because you got students and people that don't even know each other
Right.
saying the same thing. You know, it's not like it's the group of people that hang out with each other. You got people coming to them and saying, hey, we think that these two brothers are involved. Or there was one where there was a campfire, and I believe these guys admitted to doing it, and then they left the country. And then there's a weird thing with all these people that were being originally looked at leaving the country. And
Do you know who that is at all, or they didn't say?
I have it. Man, I have. You know what? Let me see.
I mean, if it's...
I don't know. If you're asking me if I have their identity, no. But I'll tell you what I did point out that made me very suspicious about that. In the report, law enforcement finds out that these guys left the country, right? It literally says in the report, so we contact the university to get information on the identity of these people. And in the same report, it says, university never got back to us. That's just weird, bro. Because you would think that the university would be right on top of that. Anything having to do with our students or anything, we'll give you the information right away. It's just there's a lot of things in this case that is very, very weird. Lawrence Mowry deals with anything that has to do with anything audio. Okay?
Video, audio, yep.
Anything audio goes to Lawrence Mowry. He wasn't the only expert on the case, but he's the one that came up with the whole, like, the cell phone towers and all the devices and trying to map out where, Brian, he turned off his phone here and all that stuff. A lot of that went through him, not just him, but with the he was assisted with people from the FBI and stuff like that. But the footage next door, when you look at how they got the SD card next door and what we get, I don't understand how people cannot conclude that they tampered with that.
Oh, absolutely. But
I don't understand.
The thing with that is too is it's in I forget what number it is, but basically what's going on here is that they get the SD card. We see it on the body cam, so we know they had it what an hour after they're called, whatever time. But the problem I have with that is that he's now acting as if he has trouble getting into it this whole time for like 4 or 5 days. But during this time, we have one of the girlfriends, or not girlfriends, one of the girl's brother lives in 1112, and he's reviewing the tapes, right? And the brother of the girl that lives there calls him and says, I think I see a suspicious vehicle at so-and-so time. It might have been 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m., blah, blah, blah. We also know Jack D is admitting to having access as well. My problem with Mowry is how the fuck do these college kids have access and the cops are acting as if they don't? Because then it comes to November 17th, Mowry extracts, I might be wrong in the number here, but 20 to 40,000.
I have it right here.
Yeah, he extracts 20 to 40,000 photos, still shots. I put it in ChatGPT. It was like 15 minutes. It's
Yeah, right here. Lawrence Mowry.
What's the number to report?
I think it's either 21 or 22. Let me see. Nope, that's the one with
28.
I think it's 28. Hold on.
It might be 28.
20. No, wait, hold on. 24. 26.
Yeah, it's 28.
It's 28, right? Yeah, right here. Yeah, 28. Now, what's also weird here, right, is from the same report, you're saying how the brother comes forward and says, oh, I see a suspicious car.
Right? Correct.
Tell me how in the world can you look at all that audio and footage and say to law enforcement, oh, I noticed a car, right? But you don't tell them nothing about them damn screams and the crazy stuff you're hearing at 2.
Oh, right.
That's insane.
And the owner of that property also contacted them and was talking about the dumpster guy, which is around 313 or 313.
You're talking about the one that's caught on Linda Lane?
No. There's a guy that goes to the 1112 King Road.
Yeah.
The owner of that house. Yes, the owner called and reported that guy being suspicious. And then this guy called. But to bring it back to the original point of Mowry, because I think he's corrupt as fuck. Don't really give a fuck what anyone thinks. How the fuck do these kids have access to a quadruple homicide camera? And they are acting as if they can't even get into it. So now...
he says my forensic... they're
fucking bullshitting. You can't bullshit me, right? So this is the funny thing about everything, because people don't understand, because on the 17th or 18th he does this, and now he gets access to the actual phone app. Mowry now downloads the fucking app for that camera onto his work phone. So now Mowry has access to everything. You understand what I'm saying? So, I was going over the files, and Jules, we know Jules got the files, right? Jules True Crime, she
that's
FOIA's the files, right?
Yeah, I credited her on my video. That's where I originally got the original
file. So in the file name, a lot of people don't understand this, right? But I do. In the file name, there's there's metadata, and it's for when that fucking, whenever the fuck that was taken, it has the date in there, right? And he states on the 17th and 18th, which I don't know if it's in that supplement report or another one. I have them saved. That he states on the 17th and 18th he downloads 2:30 to 4:30, right? So he states that, and then he states he puts it in the evidence room, calls it a fucking day, right? But Jules's file comes with a date of November 21st. Okay, there's a date of November 21st on that file. You won't see it unless you understand what you're looking at. It's a bunch of numbers, but that number comes at the 21st. I've always wanted to know if this guy is stating on the 17th and 18th he took the file, right?
Right.
Downloaded it, put the rest in the evidence. What the fuck was created on the 21st of November then? And that's always been my question, because it's there. The date is there, November 21st. There's some file being made.
Yeah, and not only that, on his original report, he puts, literally, it's right there, bro. He puts, these files come with audio. Never once, and here goes, and this is why I bring up me being in the military at times, because I understand how procedure goes. Even though I've never been a cop,
Right.
military paperwork and police paperwork, even though very different, there are what we call proper protocol procedures. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If there is no audio at a certain hour, you put that in your report. You do not.
But here's the problem, Shadow Ghost. He is not saying he took that time. He is not stating at all.
Right, he's not even stating that.
Which doesn't even make sense in the first place, because you would think a detective, an officer, whatever the fuck he is, he would want all of the information, correct? You would think he would download. He would want to download 12 hours. It's not until Ann Taylor pressures it in October of 23 that she wants more video. So now he's stating, oh, the camera's broken. I need you to sign off to get it fixed. And then he states, a year later, which makes no sense, he is now taken, 4 a.m. to 12 a.m. and I believe, I could be wrong here, the time before. Because he's only stated in them supplement reports that he only took 2 hours, 2:20 to 4:30, whatever it is. That's what they're stating in there.
You don't just see that, but the crazy part is you see this all over this investigation. So
absolutely.
Another one that's always stuck out to me. I've brought it up plenty times. Is the I believe it's supplemental. Oh man. There's so much stuff with this case, and it gets your mind boggled, and then you start. I believe it's the Rosenthal and Tinsdale plainclothes detail report. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to I think her name is she's one of the now I know the crazy part is ever since I started this case, because of my work schedule, the only time I get a chance to watch Idaho 4 content creators is when I'm working.
Right.
And then when I'm home, I'm making my own videos. So I don't really, believe it or not, the only time I actually catch other content creators is if I catch her live, or if I'm out and about, I might catch another person. But I believe it was earlier last, like right before I downloaded the documents. I think it was Lana. Was it Lana? I think it was Lana.
Mm-hmm.
She somebody had the body cam of Rosenthal and Tinsdale. Okay.
That's her. She got that.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this last time we was up here. Remember when I told you, and this is before I even started my series, I said something is very suspicious about that, bro. Okay, so they start off, they're pulling people over, right?
Yes.
You even got the little one where the girl is drunk and she's looking at Officer Rosenthal or Tinsdale, one of them, with like a sexual face. She looks tossed, bro. Like she's
she's fucked. She's fucked.
Right,
for
right.
Sure.
Right after that, a vehicle pulls up. They're pulling over, right? So they're letting people go. This is the important part. They're doing a plainclothes detail. The part of their detail is to protect students from drinking and make sure they're getting home safely, right? On camera. They just bumped into two students or two groups of people that look plastered.
You know what? You're making a great fucking point here.
About this before.
And they didn't give them a ticket, right?
Right. They let them go, right? Plastered. They let them go. Other guy, I don't even believe he's driving his own vehicle. Let him go. All of a sudden, around the time of the crime, they want to make sure they're on camera pulling over the people at the Banfield stop, stopping people for a sign. Even the dude with the sign is like, bro, okay, I took the damn sign. Like, why are you
Not
making
even the sign guy. Let's rewind it back to Banfield. You got the kids just minding their own fucking business,
Yeah.
standing there, and you're just fucking gun ho of giving them kid all tickets.
Right.
And
Now all of a
basically,
sudden,
you know,
all of a sudden,
in our
you
minds,
are
you're creating.
right.
In our minds, in my mind, you're creating an alibi.
You want to be seen on camera,
And you
right?
want to give
And here
tickets
goes,
to prove it.
Here goes where I had my biggest issue.
Go ahead. I'm with you.
When you go to the report and they talk about their plainclothes detail, these dudes never, ever talk about the sign, dude. They never talk about the stuff we saw earlier. And I know from being in the military and filling out paperwork, you include all of that, bro. Because if something happens, you need to have a record, unless it's in a different report.
Right,
and
right.
we don't have access to it. That could be it. But then again, why would you, if that's the case, I would say that all happened within the 48 hours, 24 hours within the crime. Okay?
Right.
So I don't want to hear, oh, that's a separate report. It's got nothing to do with the case. Bro, it took place during your so-called plainclothes detail report. So therefore, if you're going to be transparent with us, we need to know everybody you pulled over, everybody you spoke to, and it is what it is. And all these people that say, well, you're being nosy. No, bro, we are citizens. This comes out of our tax money, all cops, police, military, whatever. If they're not transparent with us, they could frame any one of us. They could do this to any one of us. It's called keeping accountability, bro. If you pull these people over, I need to see it in a report. I want to know who you spoke to and why, because it looks very suspicious when earlier on in the day, you are letting all these people go and you have no care in the world. And all of a sudden, around the time these homicides occur, now all of a sudden, right in front of your face. And you're like, yeah, go ahead, go. These are oddities and things that I see throughout this case over and over. There's another report where a person says he walked by and saw the door open at King Road.
Yes, the guy walking his dog, right?
And why do you think in my last video I focused on the weather when I was watching the movie Don't Blink? Because people were making like I said, I got to stop paying attention to the negativity. But people are, why are you so focusing on the weather shot? It goes, you want to know why? Because I'm focusing on anything in this case that don't make sense, and nothing makes sense in this case, bro.
Hold on one
sense.
second there. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Because I fucking clicked the audio on accident, but they're probably behind on us. Is the audio good now, chap?
Is it good?
Hold on, let me get it. How about now? Does it sound good? Because I hit the desktop. I muted something on an accident. Good. All right, yeah, we're good. Go ahead.
Where was I last off at? Where I got muted?
Okay, you said you did before. You said you did your last video.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I said, okay, well, one of the reasons why I was focusing on the weather was little things like that with the Banfield stop. Things don't make any sense, okay? You're pulling people over earlier in the day and you're letting them go, and then all of a sudden, right around the time of when these unalivings happen, now you're acting like you want to be on camera and you're pulling people over for little tiny things. So when I'm looking at little things like the weather and people are like, well, why are you paying attention? I'm paying attention to it because nothing in this case makes any damn sense. The police officers pull up to the scene. Hunter has a knife in his hand. Nobody draws any weapon or anything like that. And that's insane to me. Because the 911 call was about an unconscious person.
Right.
It wasn't 4 people were murdered in the house. An unconscious person. You get there and there's 2 people massacred. You don't even know about the other 2 people up in the room, and a guy's holding a knife. What does he do? Put the knife on the corner. He goes outside. He starts asking Hunter, who lives here?
Right, yeah.
He's asking Hunter, who lives here? Well,
they're not even clearing the house. They're trying to, and you know what? Because it's redacted, but now we know. Did you download the new documents they have unredacted of Nunes body cam and shit? And in the book it says it too, but we've seen the documents stated it, that he is stating that he committed suicide. I don't even know how he got, like, he killed her and committed suicide out of that. You know what I mean? But that's what he's saying.
Ethan, right.
Yeah, but I don't even know how you get there.
I think, well, when I look at it from his perspective, I don't believe maybe I could be wrong, but I believe when he's saying that, is he aware of the 2 people upstairs?
No. This is why I'm saying it's almost like they want you to believe that they believe that, because they're not clearing the fucking house because there could be a suspect in there.
Look, Jack the Core gets put in a car. right? Check this out. Jack the Core gets put in a car just to let him out.
Yeah.
How? What? Okay, let me ask y'all this: when you don't have to be a cop or in the military. How many times have we seen videos where a police officer pulls up at the scene and finds a body in the house? You tell me what they do.
They go panic mode. I feel.
No, everybody get out, separated. I'm putting you. This is just temporarily. I don't know who the hell's in the house. I don't know if you're the killer. I don't know what's going on. I'm temporarily putting you in these little hand straights. None of them. None of them.
And the one guy is taping the scene off before clearing the fucking house. It's like,
so
in my opinion here, I'm gonna say my opinion. They know what happened, and that's my only logical guess. Because
I've been starting to think that. So the weather. This is why. So I looked into the weather. Now I agree with you. I looked back at the replay with. And this is why I like talking to you, because it's like if we disagree, we disagree.
Yeah, that's fine.
You live on the East Coast like me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Snow can remain on the ground for a long period of time.
Long time. Right.
Long time. Here goes the thing. It's November 13th. Right? Just a couple weeks ago was Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't live in Moscow, Idaho. So I looked at the weather and I'm like, okay, when did it snow? On the 7th? Okay, last time it snowed was on the 4th.
Right.
Right? To be safe. I'm always a be safe kind of guy. Let's just add it all up, bro. Let's add it all up. That comes out to 2 point something inches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The following days you had rain. The following days, some of the days it was fair and higher temperatures. And then a couple of days leading up to the crime, it did drop in temperature. Okay. So even though it's possible, it did not melt. The issue is, and you even pointed it out. Look at the backyard.
Yeah.
The backyard, you got snow over by where the stump is at, and all that stuff where people wouldn't shovel is melted.
Correct.
And then all the snow where the so-called fresh footprints are at looks like slush to me. And maybe I'm making something out of nothing, but I can tell you right now, when you look at everything in this case, there's so many inconsistencies. So now you make me suspicious. It's like you don't think your girl is cheating on you, or ladies, you don't think your man is cheating on you, but let him or her give you a reason to think they are. Right. Now what are you doing?
Everything they're cheating.
Everything they do.
Even when they're not doing it, they're fucking
now
doing it.
Right. You made me do that because you're not being transparent. You're not being honest with me. So now I'm looking at everything, bro. I'm looking at the damn weatherman.
Like, who you on the phone with? My mom. Bullshit.
So nothing makes sense to me. And then you have inside the house, you follow the and this is why, like, I believe all of us have gifts. You know, I am not about division. You know, a lot of people really do things for different reasons. I don't care about recognition or anything like that. We all have our gifts, and this is why I support any content creator who talks about this case, because you have other channels that have they're better in what they do, you know, and some content creators are better at breaking down DNA evidence. Some content creators have familiarity with law, whatever it may be. I am more of a research savvy type of, and I talk about things in a certain way, but I feel like there's certain things in this case that I know that my style prevents me from talking about it in the way that I want to talk about it. So I support anybody in this case, but I believe like people like Pav and Lana and or maybe other people like Phoenix Talks or Queens of Custody, people, we have our own way of breaking things down.
Yeah, absolutely.
And every one of us are coming to the same conclusion that there are inconsistencies everywhere we go. That's just, I don't even know half of these people. Do I know you personally? I don't know you personally.
No.
I don't know any of these content creators personally. So what do you think? We're all some global conspiracy to sit here and say that something doesn't add up?
No, I think we all have a little common sense in our head, and we feel in our gut that it's not adding up. And I think
nothing is adding up on the scene.
No.
So
nothing adds up with anything.
My biggest question is, if you wanted to take a shortcut in this case in researching and you wanted to get straight to the point, it starts with processing that scene, Othram, and then the FBI coming to Othram saying, give us your work. And then all of a sudden they come back and now the sample is magically bigger. That's where this answer lies, bro. Because again, Brian Koberger to me, in my opinion, he had no choice. This was a national case. Changing a venue, I don't think was gonna help.
No,
I
it
don't
made it
think-
worse in my opinion.
You know what I mean?
I just think.
Like I said, the girl I was going out with at the time, doesn't even like true crime. And she
Right.
texted me about the crime.
So it even sparked
This
her
was a
interest.
national case, bro.
Yeah.
So if you want to go like where does it? I believe where the whole call. This is why I do believe where some people believe that there's a psyop is because, and I don't believe in the technical psyop of what people think it is. I believe people passed away. I believe they wanted to protect the area and the university, and they needed an answer, and they needed a fall guy, and they needed it within a period of time. Okay, everybody had their everybody had something to protect. The police department, the university, the victims at the scene. Everybody had something to be aiming for. But you cannot tell me that you have two people in that. First off, look at the layout of the house. Has anybody ever thought about this? Look at the layout of that house. Bethany's room is downstairs to the left, correct?
Correct.
Okay. In between her room is a bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Now, I think the book had pointed this out, but you could look at this by going, I think it's batch photos number 4. I think it's batch photos number 4. I want you to look at the state of that bathroom downstairs and look at the state of the bathroom upstairs.
Okay.
Okay? I'm talking about, right? So then I want you to look at how when you first off, we don't have a clear picture of inside Xana's room unless you go to the other pictures, and then even then, like, you know how it's all blacked out and stuff, right?
Right.
Look at how thin the walls are. Look how it's not like a big house like that. Is my point, right? Dylan's statement, she says things that cannot be true. Two things can be true at the same time, but there are things that logically and technically cannot be true. When she's being interviewed by Detective, I think it's Vicky Gooch.
Yeah. I just
Okay.
want to throw this in there because
Yeah.
her, in the new doc drop, the Gooch interview is unredacted, and I don't know if you have read it or seen it yet, but it's all unredacted.
Yeah,
She
says,
even makes the statement, "You could hear everything." Then I'm
yeah,
like,
no, but not only that. She says things like this. She says things like, "Well, I realized that I was sleeping and my phone was on, so obviously I can't be sleeping and my phone is on." You want to know why? Because it contradicts something. When they're interviewing Jack Decor, well, there's a 17-minute conversation. I don't remember that. Oh, you don't remember that? But somebody was on the phone, and then in the same interview, yeah, my grades were falling because, you know, I was worried about the breakup. These are things that don't coincide with each other. 1 second you're scared, 1 second you're not, 1 second you're sleeping, 1 second you're not, right?
Mhm.
So these things, and then you look at the layout of the house. You would hear everything, okay?
yes,
You could Bethany can open up her door and go, "Hey, Xana, can she not? Can she not go,
yeah,
y'all right
yeah.
up there?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
People
personally,
need
to
stop
me,
acting stupid, like when they act like, "Well, you don't understand. You never been in that position." Stop it, bro.
yeah, because it's like their
It's
whole
just
stories have nothing to do with the murders. Not one time will they mention they heard a scream, right? I heard
Yeah.
someone in the bathroom. I'm here to help you. I think she said she might have heard crying. I'm not too sure, but
And she even says, "I don't know how they got in."
she said we went upstairs. She
She also says, when they said, "How long do you think the person was in the house?" She says, "I don't even know how they got in." That's I point that out in my video all the
Right.
time.
Yeah,
Who's they?
She's a walking contradiction. That's why
Exactly.
I believe that, everybody wants to blame everybody in this crime, right? And I get it. But I really think people should just start and end with Dylan. She's fucking lying. It's in the proof. She needs to be fucking questioned or brought up again on shit. Because even in, I think, the grand jury thing, they were even questioning her and her statements. You know what I'm saying? I think she's the biggest piece of this shit. And she's protecting
We don't
someone.
have hold on, let me turn on my AC real quick.
Go ahead.
We only have partial Dylan's phone records, right? We
Well,
don't
we only
have-
have what they give us. That's
right.
That's
So
it.
why don't we ever have Bethany's?
That's a good question as well. What up, Clown for Days? Just was pressed. It's here. Good to see you. Shoe Girl, Cocaine, JP. Back, Becky is here. Good to see you. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys go follow Chat It Goes if you're enjoying the stream. American Boy is here. Good to see you.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, good. You're all right. Taco's here. Good to see you, Taco. Liv is here. Seen Brandy J here. Good to see you. Miss Kiki, what up?
Oh, another thing. If you go to the forensic dump, right? I still can't figure this out. There's a. I hate asking AI to help because I don't like AI because AI can be wrong. But I asked AI, why do I see John Showalter's name? I think it's on item.
The
Item
lab
number-
item 1.
I think yeah, it's lab items. Lab items. It's 261, 260. No, it's 262. I think it's 261 and 264. Blood swabs come back to John Jack Showalter, right?
Yeah.
So you look at another report. It says that it's taken from another scene. But when you look at the report from the forensic dump, from my understanding, unless I was reading it wrong, it didn't say that. So when I asked AI, AI says it's a clerical error.
Yeah.
It's a clerical error in that they were using both Jacks, the core and Showalter's names, because this is before they had Brian, and they were trying to cross-reference their names out, right?
Mhm.
That's what it says. But then it's clearly saying that something comes back to him. It's just weird, like, and
Yeah,
so-
I did some AI on that too, but AI cannot be trusted. We know that. And they
Yeah,
were
it can't
telling
be
me
trusted.
that labs will have different numbers. So lab item 1 could be from one lab and lab item 1
well,
could
you
be
can
from
go
another.
to the
But
here. So you have these that reference each other. So you have the raw incident table, right? That looks like this when you download the supplemental narrative reports. But then you also have the states exhibit list, right?
mhm.
These cross-reference each other. They cross-reference each other. And sometimes I've noticed that you'll find an item number in here that is a different item number in here, but they're referring to the same thing. Which is why when you look up, for instance, that specific lab report, it says on one of these, it says I think it's 262 or 264, 261 and 263. And then in another one, it says item something. Do you
Right,
understand?
yep.
It's sort of like the ISP reports will say, I think one of them says sequence number, and then the other one has a different supplemental number because it's coming from two different areas, but they're referring to the same thing is what I'm saying.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's just labeled if I'm explaining it correctly.
And that wasn't that tested to the swab? The buckle swab?
Yeah, I think it's
Wasn't
I
that
think-
the item lab item 1 the sheath and then you got Showalter seeming like he was tested to it?
that's how I was interpreting it, but when I find there's another supplemental narrative report that says that they went to the White House
Mhm.
and that they went to I believe they went to Showalter. And remember, Jack the Core didn't live far either. The one thing that's always I found just very, very weird to me, man. If you were a detective, who would be the top people on your list besides Dylan and Bethany to look at.
Well, it would
Not
be,
just
it would
like-
be, it would be, you know, people close to the victims. So it would be the friend. It would be the friend. Fucking,
Right. So,
you know,
would you consider Jack the
Or
Core in
j-
that category?
yes, because I would consider Jack Showalter seen on camera. So yes, Jack
Yeah.
the Core is calling Kaylee, or they have a call.
Kaylee- right,
Kaylee's
Kaylee
calling
has-
him, or this or that. So
Yeah.
yes, you would definitely look at them just because of that information in itself. That you got one guy on a camera that's with them, and then you got another guy who's calling them hours before they die, or an hour according to the state, 4 a.m. They're dying. So yes, I think they should be looked at just from that.
And if you were to look up the dates where they collect stuff from Jack D, it's later on. It just it doesn't.
They didn't get his fingerprints till like
That's
2025, right?
That's what I'm. Yes, that's what I was start. That's what I'm.
Like
when you
before
go
a
through-
trial was supposed to start, they're
Yes.
finally getting this
They're-
motherfucker's finger.
right. Ann Taylor and the defense is filing to have his fingerprints, so I guess they can have some people. And they're saying, "Oh, we don't have it." What do you mean you don't have it? This is why I'm starting to. I understand why some people believe that something is like maybe when they say like, "Oh, well, this never happened." I can understand why they think. I'm looking at it from a different way. Like they were trying to contain something. They wanted an answer quickly, and because right away when this happened, people were leaving. They were going home. They were taking their classes online. You could see it on the body camera. One of the officers is like, "Man, this is right around the man. Oh, enrollment was at an all-time high." Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
wanted
Brad
to-
Payne is talking. They wanted to protect the college. That's for
Yeah.
fucking sure. Like
And-
this is
and
bad
so-
for the college, man. We was just doing
It's
good.
bad for the college, right?
Yeah.
You can also see on the body cam, that when they get there, some of them, I believe, some of them, the way that some of them look curious, like Snyder, he's taking a lot of pictures, and then it seems like some officers, in my opinion, I'm with you. Like the more I look at it now, it could just be how I'm looking at it. It could be interpretation or how, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
I'm with you though. Something doesn't seem right when they pull up there, because you have to understand that if you are an officer and somebody calls 911 and somebody says, "We have an unconscious person here," not a dead person, an unconscious person here.
He
If
didn't
you
even
get
bring
there-
the bag in the room, which don't even make
It's
sense.
just, yeah.
Right?
That's-
He
it's red
drops the
flags.
bag, and it's almost like you think, we try to just, put some logic to it, right? We could be totally wrong. And I've always tell people, I'm not a professional, so don't take my
Yeah,
word for that.
I'm definitely
I'm just
not one
some
either.
guy on YouTube who's just giving an opinion. You know what I'm saying? But he does put the bag. So, like, am I supposed to believe Nunez realizes she's dead from that far away? I still don't believe that as well. That he would know that without entering that room. It seems he enters the room and says, "Oh, they're fucking dead." But okay,
I never see one officer go, "Hey, y'all, we found a knife sheath upstairs."
No.
I never see any officer say, "Hey, guys, I just found a
You're
knife
right.
sheath hanging off of the bed by Maddie's leg."
And it could be redacted, but it could be redacted because there's a lot of redaction. But you're absolutely right. Nobody's like, "Oh, well, I see the sheet that there's a sheet." In my personal opinion, I think I think the ones who went in there put it there. That's just my opinion.
And if you have a sheath and you have a blood spot on the rail, coming back to somebody that's not Brian Koberger, if you have a polar penguin glove found in the parking lot, coming back to another unknown male, right? It makes no sense to me at any time why you would not find these people. Because let's think about the blood spot on the banister. Either that is a person that helped commit this crime, or we have another victim whose body's never been found. That's how I'm looking at it.
Right.
It's right in the middle of where, all so-called bumping into Xana. And it doesn't make any sense. And I also don't understand how a sample becomes bigger after the FBI gets involved.
That's a $1 million question.
And they don't
I
have
mean,
to
even
say,
Ann Taylor fucking addressed
yeah,
it. That it doubled
And they
in
don't have to
size.
say, "Oh, look, this is where we got it." They don't have to. And that's just that's insane to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then I can't even blame the judge because the judge puts an order and says, "No, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I want it. Honestly, Outkast, I think the judge was curious at one point. I think the judge was like, you know what? I want to see where y'all got that from.
Judge
So
Judge
here-
or Hitler?
I don't.
Judge is the first judge.
Yeah, yeah. John C. I think it's John C. Judge is the first judge, and the second one is Hitler, right? But they're ordered. Is this working now? Let me see if this is working now. Okay, right here. A knife sheath was recovered at 1122 King Road. Okay. The sheath was tested using standard DNA STR methods by the Idaho State Police. The profile was uploaded to CODIS. This resulted in no hits, no known hits to the offenders. The Moscow Police, by the way, I am reading motion to exclude IGG evidence. There's many of these. I think there's like 8 of these, but I'm reading one of them. Okay. It says, because I just want to give you the main part right here.
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
says, the Moscow Police Department, with assistance of the Idaho State Forensics Lab, they spelled forensics wrong, transferred and extracted DNA from Q1.1, that would be the knife sheath from my understanding, to Othram Labs, located in Texas. Othram promised to preserve all of its work in this case in the agreement using the SMP, that's the single profile thing I was telling, techniques, right? Othram generated a profile using an SMP and began building a family tree for Q1.1. This is the knife sheath. Looking at a closest relative sample in commercial databases that allow law enforcement searches such as GED Match Pro and Family Tree DNA. On December 10th, Othram, this is the big, excuse me, it's the big one. On December 10th, Othram was asked to cease all work on the case by prosecutors. Now, this is what I believe Dr. Turvey was referring to in the book, The Broken Plea, or Christopher Waco. Okay? On December 10th, Othram was asked to cease all work by the prosecutors. And this is because, and just so I can just interject here, because I know this from reading the other documents, this is because when Othram comes back with the sample, they're like, oh, well, we got these 4 brothers. But the SMP markers was very low, and the defense was ready to tear that down. So this is when I think the state got ahead of themselves. The FBI probably talked with Bill Thompson and them, and they said, yo, tell Othram to hand it over to us. This is where it becomes fishy, right? So now that you understand that, here it goes.
Right.
The Moscow Police Department, with the assistance of the Idaho State Forensics Lab, transferred DNA Q.1 to Othram Labs on November 22nd to begin making a profile. On December 10th, 2022, Othram was asked to cease all work by the case prosecutors, despite the fact that their genealogy investigation was incomplete. Othram reported that they had identified a number of close relations to the knife via searches Family Tree DNA GED Match Pro. This suggested that the DNA profiles came from 3 individuals to further their investigations. It says right here, in an email directing to stop the work, lab manager Matthew Garnett directed Othram to preserve the whole genome profile you have generated in this case and any remaining DNA extract. And it says, wait. In any data generated on this case, any other records, including what you have in Othram on this case, anything laid out in the state with Idaho until the Moscow Police Department and Latah County communicate that such information needs to be retained by Othram Labs. After Kohlberger was charged, he swiftly requested discovery relating to the IgG testing. So now the defense is like, hey, where did y'all get that from? Can we have that? Mr. Kohlberger laid out his rationale, and then it explains why they want it, right? And then this doesn't, it says the court, after hearing testimony from a number of defense experts found that the defense had met the threshold required to show at least some of the IgG information material. So the judge is saying, you don't have to tell them everything, but you need to show us something where you're getting this profile because this man's life basically hangs here.
Right.
So, okay, it says they are required to show at least some of the IgG information sought material to preparation for the defense so they can find a proper defense. And issued an order for the production of the IgG information in possession. And then it goes into all the technical terms. On November 30th, 2023, the state provided materials to the court for review along with a table of items. This list included FBI materials, ISP emails, Outram emails. After the review of the materials, they requested additional material because the stuff they sent them isn't what the judge told them to send over. I want you to understand how tricky this is. The judge is saying, show us your work, how you got these samples. You know what they send? Oh, you can have these emails. You can have the stuff that got nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
Do you see where they're playing games here?
Yeah.
So they hand that over, and they're like, "What are you talking about? What is this? This is a random email. I don't want to. Where did you get the profile?
Yeah.
They don't hand it to them.
They don't want to show them the work.
They don't want to show them the work.
No, we know that.
And this keeps going on and on and on. And I'm like, bro, this is weird. And then the FBI, the one I'm trying to find right now, is the one where it shows where Ann Taylor says the FBI comes and says, give it to us. Give it to us. We'll take care of this. And then they come back and it grows in size. We all know from there, it grew in size. And this is just weird to me because they make it seem like there's this slam dunk case on Brian. And it's like, bro, you have no idea. Like, they literally had to get the state police, the FBI, and all this other stuff for a guy who they claimed was in the house for a matter of minutes and inflicted 150 wounds between 4 individuals without being able to transfer any blood from those victims upstairs to downstairs. Like, this dude pulled off some Jason Bourne type stuff, bro.
Right. He's a ninja. I mean, that's why we call him a fucking ninja. I mean,
it's crazy. And then they make it seem like he's some, I was watching an Amazon Prime documentary the other day. What's her name? What is her name? The genealogist from she was trying to throw shots at Brian Kohlberger like he's not that smart. He's not that smart. He left his DNA in the house. But he didn't though. It's just so everything is misleading towards Brian. Hold on one second.
Go ahead. What up, Third Eye Not Blind? Truth Salutes here. Good to see you, Lisa. Sweet and Sassy. Charcoal Daisy. Good to see you as well.
Let me see if I could find the one where I was going to show you.
You know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom for 30 seconds. So
yeah.
Oh, shit, I muted. Give me 30 seconds, okay?
Okay. Right.
All right, I'm back.
You back?
Yeah. So what were you looking for just now?
I was just trying to find the one that had the specifics on it, but actually I'm gonna put it in my I'm gonna try to put it in my upcoming video, so I'll explain it better. But yeah, technically it's more of what other people have been saying. It looks like it's a coordinated effort, but the thing that makes it very suspicious is not just the coordinated effort. There's other things that I guess doesn't make sense to me though. And maybe I think maybe what's happening is because do you think that police knew what they were walking into when they got to the scene?
Do I think they knew?
Like, do you think that when Officer Nunez arrives at the house, do you think he already knows there's a person unalived in that house?
I have a feeling he does. That's just yes, I do. I have a feeling.
Because this would explain a 8-hour delay.
Well, 8 hours like a golden rule of an investigation or some sort. I've read before that 8 hours is like the most crucial timing of an investigation. The first 8 hours. I know it's always the first 48 hours. You know,
If anything was going to be done to that scene, those because again this goes back to Dylan and Bethany. There's nothing you can tell me, absolutely nothing you can tell me that's going to make me believe that they were scared for their lives. Their phone records doesn't even show that. You're on TikTok, you're making videos and all this other stuff. So
yeah, we also see this. We also, if we don't see, but if we got to live through text messages, we see 15 minutes of somewhat panic, right? We see,
yeah,
I'm scared, screwed, whatever the fuck you want to say it is. We see the phone calls to the victims. We see,
Yeah.
come to my room, it's safe down here, blah, blah, blah. But after all that 15-minute thing, we see nothing of panic until the cops are called or they're
Yeah.
calling their friends. So it's like,
There
why
was
did the
a-
panic just die? Why?
well,
I don't know.
which one is it on my I forgot the title of the video where I went back and did a second look of the text messages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I lined it up with the car leaving the scene. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Kohlberger's gone by 4:21. So even
Right.
after okay, he's gone. He's according to them,
Mm-hmm.
he's gone. He's out the house. So why are you still texting things like, "What's going on?" And like you're still texting as if. And I pointed this out. I'm like, you're talking as if somebody's still there.
Right, right.
You're acting like if somebody is still there. But if we want to go by law enforcement's narrative, Ethan is not alive, Xan is not alive, Kaylee's not alive, and Maddie's not alive.
Yeah.
So you should be hearing nothing.
No, you're right. And we don't
Yet
even
their
see
text- right.
texts of, you know, she even says she's seen a guy, but like, why wouldn't you text that during you're seeing him? You know?
Yeah.
You
She
know?
even says that she sees an object bulging out, looks like an arrow almost.
Right.
But again, there's a lot of time, and what makes it even more unbelievable, of course, is when you say that you open up the door and you see her laying down.
Right.
But even if you go downstairs and you go to Bethany's room, it's not a believable story to sit there and say that you was in there for 8 hours and not one time you opened up the door and at least yelled up, like, "Yo, y'all okay? Y'all ain't answering your phone." Like, it's not believable. It's
Yeah,
not
none of it-
correct.
yeah,
it's not how
I don't-
humans behave.
No, it's not. It's not. It's really not. And it's, you know, I was watching the body cams yesterday, the day before, and, you know, I just watched. There's so much time. But the cop even says to the other cop, well, why didn't they call us? Well, that's a great
Yeah.
fucking question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
logically, we're not seeing any logic happening between these two girls. Because even if we got the text messages that I truly believe is just creating a narrative. Like, even the bangs, like, I'm almost coming to the conclusion, like, oh, we hear the bang, the dog bark, that must be Xana dying. I'm like, shit, this all might be fucking Fugazi. Like, it might be all just to fill the narrative of, like, because they were killed long before this.
And now you understand why I'm looking at the damn weather, bro. I
get it, bro.
This case got me so bugged out, bro. I'm looking at the weatherman.
I get it, bro.
Like, it's crazy. It's like, bro, I don't. But again, I don't know. Of course, I probably asked you this before. If you want a reason why Brian Kohlberger pled guilty, okay? Now I'm giving you my opinion. If you're sitting this time waiting the trial, and you're seeing what's going on, at what point does a person go, these people are trying to kill me, bro?
Yeah, I truly believe that even if it went to trial, which people were hoping for, he was going to get convicted anyways.
And if he would have got convicted, they were going to give him the death penalty, correct?
Yeah, and probably quick.
Okay. So at what point does a person go, I'll cut my losses, bro?
I mean, you have to. I mean, it's a fight, man. If you feel like shit, listen, I could act up and go to trial because I know I'm innocent, right? I know it. But the way I'm looking and seeing everything, these motherfuckers are corrupt. And they're willing to do whatever they have to put me in jail. Like, I might as well sign the plea deal because if it goes, I've already witnessed what they're doing. I'm in court with Ann Taylor. I'm hearing these arguments.
Yeah.
About, all the points you're bringing up tonight are great points. Brian is hearing this as well. It's his life.
That's my whole point. Brian is hearing all of this.
Right. So he knows. He knows the corruption firsthand. He's there.
All you have to do is watch a random hearing, because I believe she said this in every hearing. Pick out a random hearing with Ann Taylor. Literally, I can't find one where she doesn't say this. She says, Your Honor, the state is lying.
Right.
They're saying they gave us this. They never gave it to us. And bro, it could be discovery. It could be you ordered them to hand this over. They never did, or they say they did, but when they did, they gave us a bunch of emails. This happens numerous times. And she's
almost
like,
every time.
And she's like, there's even one point where Ann Taylor's like, bro, I'm trying to go to trial. Like, because I guess she's confident, like, I'm trying to go to trial. And now they're saying they need more time. And then they throw like this curveball where they throw her like 8 terabytes of information. Mm-hmm. Out of nowhere.
So you think that scared her maybe? Like, damn, they might have something on him, but I don't even have the time to go through it?
This is what I think happened. And I know people might not agree with me, but I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I do believe wholeheartedly that special that came out.
The Dateline? With the Dateline
yes.
leak? Yeah.
I believe that might have crushed it because here's why. This is a national case. Changing venue isn't going to do anything. The odds of you finding a juror that doesn't know this case, so you would probably have better luck having the judge picking a jury with just a judge. But even that said, I believe that he felt that the court of a public opinion had already made their decision, because again, I don't even know how they do this and how it's even legal, but you still got people to this day like Nancy Grace perpetrating lies that aren't true.
Yeah,
and I don't believe they should be allowed to do that.
No, I don't think it should be allowed at all.
It shouldn't be allowed. For example, when Molly Big Michael gets pulled over and she's arrested later on, and she's an informant and she's all cracked out of her mind, and she's all scared and she's like, oh, I'm gonna be testifying in a murder, and I saw Brian there, and then Nancy Grace is like, look, got you, Brian Koberger, right? And that's far from the truth, because that's not what she said. That's not what she told law enforcement. And
but even if she said she's seen Brian Koberger is already arrested for the crime in jail. So, you know what I mean? Like, even if he's already the guy she knows that,
That goes to my point with the Dateline thing. I believe that Brian probably saw, going back to what we were saying, he's witnessing all of these proceedings, right? Like you said, he's witnessing them getting shut down on every corner. He's witnessing them not giving them the information when they're asking for it. He basically sees this railroad happening first person. And he probably sees that, I don't know, and maybe he just said, you know what, man? Maybe I could save my life here. Maybe I could just save my life. That's the only thing I could think of, because at first, when I first started looking at this case, I'm like, why would you plead guilty, bro? Like, you could have beat that. I don't know if he could have beat it. looking back at it, I don't know.
I mean, it feels like he should have been. It should have been a home run out the park, but I don't.
To us, though.
To us, yes. When we're
To us, but when we look at the way that they're railroading him, Outkast, I'm looking
I
at it
agree
like,
with you. Well, I think they
know,
would have
like,
stacked the jurors as well.
they would have did something. They
I
would have
know,
did
yeah,
something.
they're
Because
corrupt
the
to the
last thing
core.
you want to do is make this man not guilty, and now the fear is back in the public, and now people are going to be like, well, what happened? Are the killers still out there? And
Listen,
is it
I
the
think,
university?
I even think if Brian Koberger is exonerated in 10, 12 years, it's not even going to do 2% of the damage that it would have did now if he was found not guilty. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, that 10 years on the run, they ain't going to give a fuck. Oh, Brian, people
that
won't even
would've-
remember it. Like,
That would have, so many people would have got fired. So many people would have lost their jobs. So many
the
people.
city would
would've
have crumbled. It would have crumbled.
it would have crumbled, bro. And so now when I'm looking back at it, I'm like, because at first I'm like, well, why would he plead guilty? But now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe that's all he had at that time. And he's like, man, maybe I could save my life.
Yeah, well, now it's off the table, right? But it could get brought back up if it goes to a new trial. If he gets a new trial, you think that?
I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know about how that works, but I think, like, from the way that he signed it, and maybe this would be a better question for somebody else, but I don't even think saying something like ineffective counsel helps him at this point, because usually that's what people use, right? And a matter of fact, if you talk to any lawyer, they're okay with that. They tell their client when they lose, hey, listen, we're going to file for an appeal, right?
You're right,
In the appeal, I want you to say I was ineffective, because it'll give you a chance to get a new trial. And I've heard lawyers like that talk on panels say that they tell their clients that, not obviously out in public, but behind closed doors.
Do you think the defense could have leaked the Dateline leak, making it so they were ineffective counsel?
Yeah, I mean, you have to ask yourself this, man. Why would the FBI have, like, what is the FBI's incentive for all of this, bro?
The FBI is corrupt, and they're not corrupt. I will say there's corruption in every law in the world. That doesn't mean every single law enforcement is corrupt. But that's why I even think they brought in that Josh Hurwitz guy. I think they were scared to see their investigation get thrown in their fucking face. That they were so corrupt in it. With Nick Balance and all that shit they were pulling off. You know what I mean? I don't think they wanted us to go to trial to show how much shady shit they fucking really did to get that guy.
And I also believe that they panicked.
Yeah.
I believe that when they processed that scene, right? When they processed that scene, they're thinking in the back of their head, "Oh man, we got this.
Yeah.
This is gonna come back. We're gonna have this guy. We're gonna have this guy. We're gonna put in CODIS, blah, blah, blah." And then slowly they started realizing, no, there's nothing in CODIS. Oh, we don't have this. We don't have that. It's not going the way that they think it's going. And then you're having the panic. This was to us, we look at things like, wow, it's a big thing in the news, but you got to think about it. As officers and people that live in that area, I've had people email me. When I first started my series, I'm a tiny channel.
Right.
I had a woman email me. She was nice, but this poor woman, she goes, Shadow goes, you sound like a sweet boy. I could tell she sounds like she's in her 80s or something. You sound like a sweet boy, and but you need to stop doing what you're doing. You're making our town look bad. I'm like, I'm making your town look bad. What do you mean I'm not saying, I don't even know you, man. Like,
your
what do you
fucking
mean?
town is bad, and you should be happy that there's people out here talking about it, because
I told her that.
Locally it could happen to your little nephew, your little niece.
Right, that's
your
what I
little
said to her.
fucking, like,
She's
what
like,
the fuck?
she's like, well, you're saying that it's all corrupt and there's good people that live here.
I'm sure
I'm like,
there
"Ma'am,
is."
I'm not saying you're corrupt, ma'am. I'm not saying anything bad about you, but you should appreciate content creators like us, just like the family should appreciate us. Because if somebody unalive these kids and they're not caught, you should appreciate people like us putting the spotlight on this instead of going against us.
I agree. Some people don't see the bigger picture.
They don't see it like that, though. They really don't.
Like,
They
you
don't
should be
see it like
happy people are pointing at your little you know what I mean, your little city. That, listen, man, they probably did this to hundreds of thousands of people over there. You know, Bill Thompson has a record of fucking what, 100,000 and oh. This guy, he's fucking great, huh? At what he does. I think there's so much corruption, and these people that connect to the Koberger case are also connected to other cases as well, right? So you got to look outside the box. That, okay, if they were willing to fuck BK over and set him up, there's other innocent people probably in jail at this moment that you guys don't even know their fucking name, but the Nick Balances and these people are connected to them cases as well. You know what I'm saying? Even the chain of custody. If the chain of custody is broken, how many more chain of custody is broken in other cases?
I still, for the life of me, I do not understand the mindset, bro. If you have other people in that house and you're finding their blood, we're not talking like, this is crazy. I still don't understand it. You're finding their blood in the house,
right?
And you're just like, oh well, we'll get back to that later. We'll get back to that later at some other time. That's just the most absurd thing I've ever heard of in my life, bro. Because you don't even know if that's coming from a perpetrator. You don't know if that's coming from a victim. You don't know. It reminds me of you know those parodies. Those parodies. I saw a parody, a SNL skit, where they were doing like the scary movie, like the guy calls him. You know, and the guy, he's like, what is the guy's name? He's a comedian, but he acts like he's so high and dumb. He's not aware of the danger. So the guy calls him. He's like, "You want to play a game?" And he's like, "Okay." And he's like, you know, he's like all high, like, "Okay." He's like, oh, he's like, "Turn on your light," because he wanted him to see his girlfriend. He had his girl. He's like, "Turn on the light." He's like, boom. He's like, "No, the other light. No, the other one. That's for your upstairs dummy. Forget it. I got your girlfriend here, right?" And he's like so oblivious.
Right.
It's like that. It's like the Moscow Police Department is like, bro, there's blood on the handrail here. Like there's a bloody glove out here. You're not at all curious about that. No. You're not at all. You're telling us you don't know the weapon.
I think the narrative was there. They didn't want to kill the narrative in any direction. Could have killed their narrative. They didn't want two suspects. They just didn't want. You see it. And now Cy Ray's supposed to come out, and even him was saying it, that, you know, no matter what you think of him, he's saying to you guys that, you know, they started their investigation with this 2:47 a.m. ping on blah blah, and then at 2:51. But as the case went on, they never wanted to update their shit. They wanted to, because, you know, new information comes. You know what I'm saying? And to help you strengthen your case, they didn't want to do that. They did not want to do that. And it just shows you.
When Ann Taylor is saying to you, "Why didn't you pursue this person?" and your answer is, "Oh, I didn't want to remove the name out of CODIS." Come on, bro. That's it. Like that right there tells me that you are focused on that narrative, and you're only focused on that narrative. And the biggest problem I have with this as a person is because if they could blatantly do something like this, it's like you said, bro. They could do it to anybody. Any one of us are not safe. If they want to right now, they could take footage of me being at the grocery store and say, "Look at Shadow."
Oh, this is what they do, though. This is the problem people don't understand. They can do this. No, they do this.
Yeah.
They make you look like, you know, like this Costco video of Brian is supposed to be some evidence that he fucking committed the goddamn crime. And then they got him always wearing gloves at the grocery store. But if you really watch in detail, the cocksucker takes his fucking glove off and uses his hand. So it's like, well, this is irrelevant because he just took his glove off to fucking... So if you want me to believe he's wearing gloves to hide his fucking fingerprints, but also in the videos that you release, he takes one of his gloves off.
Yeah.
It makes it irrelevant, right?
Or how about that's an Elantra in a black and white video? Okay, let me ask you this for the people that really think that Brian did this. Tell me this, since the evidence is so clear. How many people's inside that car?
How would you know?
Is it a man?
How would you know?
Is it a woman? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 5?
Well, you're using Molly now, and she doesn't even describe Brian Koberger. Like, she's the only eyewitness of who's in the car, right? She said she sees some man in
Right.
whatever the fuck
And
he's
her
wearing.
description doesn't
Doesn't fit
even match.
him. No.
Yeah. And by the way, she was more focused on the fact that there's a girl up on the in the window
yeah.
hiding, right?
Mhm.
And but then like logically when I try to think about this, I'm like, okay, I've tried many times, bro. I've tried many times to put in my head, okay, you know what? Maybe you're just being really biased, Shadow. Maybe Brian ran up in there and caught these people off guard. Like I've thought about that many
Possible.
times. I'm like, okay, let me think about this. There's no evidence he stalked anybody. Okay? The Mad Greek restaurant even came out and said, please stop saying that.
Yeah, I
You're-
seen it in your video that they definitely made a statement. So
The Mad Greek video came out and said he never came here. He never ordered a vegan pizza. Please stop saying that. You're
Correct.
messing up our business. Whatever, right? Steve G's own, from his own private investigators, a lawyer, they can't prove any evidence that Kaylee had any, right? So Bill Thompson, the own prosecutor, is saying we cannot prove he had any connection with these victims, but we can place him in there around, right? Basically on a cell phone tower when he only lived a couple minutes away. So I'm trying to think, okay, so he enters a house that apparently he's never entered before. Okay. He goes straight upstairs. He kills one person by one person. They all have defensive wounds, but okay. So he's killing one person. The other person's just sitting there, I guess, in shock. Okay, all right. Then he bumps into Xana a couple minutes later. She fights for her life. He does the same thing to Ethan. Dylan opens up the door, sees him, right? And he leaves in the span of just minutes. And I try to fit that in my head, and I'm like, how much energy that it takes. But where that all falls apart, nothing is when you look at the results of the blood inside the house. So you mean to tell me he walked in there and had extra blood on him? He plants the glove on the way out. He puts a little drop of blood in the banister where he's fighting Xana.
Right.
He must have. How do you?
Well, there's unknown blood there too, so it's not his, and it's not any
Right,
of the victims.
that's my whole point. Not
So
only
what the
that.
fuck are we doing here?
Not only that. If you take a weapon, even if you have gloves, mask, let's say you're covering everything on your hair, you could be wearing shades, just a bodysuit.
Mm-hmm.
You have a weapon. You enter it into Maddie. You enter it into Kaylee. We're talking multiple times. How on earth does none of their blood on the weapon on your body get on Xana and Ethan? And how do you not transfer anything outside that room?
And how is there no footsteps of blood?
And this is where Dr. Turvey was like, when I asked, I think it's Paulette Sutton, their expert, Paulette Sutton. I said, how do you explain this? We're going to say Brian Koberger was naked. But in order for that to even work, right? In order for that to work, you would have to go upstairs, be naked at some point. You would have to unalive Maddie and Kaylee. You would somehow have to wipe that weapon off or have another weapon, put it in your backpack. Because remember, there's no bloody knife found. There's no nothing, right? You'd have to somehow be able to maneuver your way downstairs without transferring anything, all while bumping into Xana, all while unaliving her while she's fighting for her life. And then, oh yeah, let me get Ethan out of here too before I go. Oh, and I'm already done. I killed 4 people. Let me just, the girl that opened up the door and saw me.
But it's supposed to be irrelevant
let her
because
go.
it's irrelevant for her to even make the statement because we have a eyewitness saying he was clad in black. So obviously he wasn't naked.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to think think logically here. After he does all that, he's like, oh, the girl that just opened up the door and saw me, I'm done. I'll let her go. I'm a nice guy.
I'm tired.
I'm tired, right? Yeah.
fatigued.
Come on, bro, get the hell out of here with that. And then nothing comes back to him. I'm like, people.
And they were saying someone was
stating.
stating he took the long way home because he knew Dylan was up. Poor Dylan, and so he took the long route home. Wouldn't you kill the bitch? I mean, come on. Wouldn't it be easier to kill the fucking broad?
How about when she says in her report, is it the one with Vicky Gooch? Which one is the one where Dylan says, they ask her, why do you think they didn't kill you? And she goes,
Yeah, because he might have knew her.
they might have knew me.
And she's like, yeah.
Yeah. She's such an airhead, bro. She's like, oh, I was scared, but I didn't know if I was in reality half the time. But well, I do know my phone shows that I was. So I guess I wasn't sleeping. Was I sleeping? Are we in Moscow time? Are we in?
Oh
are we
my
in
God,
Jersey
they're doing
time?
half
Like,
the
what hell?
interview and they
Like,
switched to
fucking
Moscow
airhead, bro.
time. The fucking, even the witness that we said walked by the house, they switched his time. He said 10 or
Yeah.
11. They're like, oh, well, he might have been wrong, so he's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And then,
Jesus.
and then
Fuck.
these Moscow police officers, bro, these dudes are some real Sherlock Holmes, right? So I guess Officer Payne gets there and goes, looking at these fresh footprints here. Come here, Officer Gilbertson. He must have walked upstairs and took this route, and he goes up there. Watch me as I simulate this. We're gonna do this under 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
All right.
Yeah, capture this, Watson. Like, it's crazy, it's insane. And then they feed that to you, and you're like, so you want me to believe he did all that in 2 minutes and 33 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, there's not even
No,
blood
it's
in
like
the, even the
Jason Bourne.
footprints outside, there's no, any blood. It's a
That's a
shoe,
good point,
right?
too.
You know,
That's
it's a
a good
shoe,
point,
right?
too.
It's not a bare
There's no
foot.
bloody. Somebody said that in my comments in my video the other day. They're like, "Hey, Shadow, don't you think after like attacking Xana, like you look at the room in there, like don't you think he would have blood on the snow?" And I'm like, you know what?
Go
That's good.
traveling out the house.
I never thought of that, but yo, that's a good thing. Yeah, there's no blood in the snow.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, man. I mean, when you try to use common sense logic here, it just doesn't add up. And I don't know how you could be a guilter at this point. I really don't. I get it. He
Oh.
pled guilty. I get it.
I can tell you this right now. If my subscribers are watching, I just want to let you guys know you don't have to, like, I am not going back and forth with these people anymore. It's one of my biggest flaws is letting the negativity
Well,
get
once
to
you're
I-
new, you know,
yeah, I'm
you
new,
know.
and and what's crazy is when I was covering boxing, I like the negativity. I like the hate because it's
Well, the
different.
negativity is different because you got two different fighters. So you're like,
Right,
you know,
right,
Errol
to
Spence
me-
sucks. Oh, he's great. Yeah, we can
right.
debate.
And
We can have
you
this
know how it
debate.
is. Like in
Yeah.
boxing, it's a bunch of men. So I'm like, I want the haters to come over and talk crap. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
different when I started this because it's like, wait a second, people lost their lives. So I took everything personally and I shouldn't have. But now I'm growing and I'm realizing, why am I going back with somebody who I am almost guaranteed does not do half the research I do?
Yeah, you're
Like,
just
I am
wasting
doing
your energy,
myself
bro.
And my subs a disservice, bro.
Yeah, you're
So I'm
wasting
not doing it
energy,
anymore.
man. Don't worry about it.
You know?
Just keep doing you, bro. People are gonna love you and people are gonna hate you, bro. And that's what you gotta deal with. And just remember that. They're gonna love you, they're gonna hate you. It comes with the game. Fuck them.
Do you ever here, another subject I wanted to ask you. I've always felt like the parents, specifically the Gonzalez, not just the Gonzalez family, but the Coronado family. I believe the Gonzalez and the Coronado family, and the Chapin family. You know what? All of them. I have a feeling that they know, and when I say way more, I don't mean undisclosed autopsy reports. That's not what I mean.
When it comes to
I mean,
Xana's parents,
I believe Steve G possibly knows what actually happened. Now I'm allowed to think that as a person that's been following this case. I'm not saying that's true. I need to be careful with what I say, but I'm telling you, in my personal opinion, I believe this man knows what happened in that house.
yeah, I don't know where they stand anymore. I know Xana's mom came around this community asking questions, right? I know she was around and about. So Xana's mom truly didn't most likely know what happened, right?
Yeah.
We got Steve G and the G's who were hiring private investigators, hiring lawyers, trying to get to the truth, it seemed. And, you know, it almost came down to what Steve has explained is that the FBI said they had BK nailed to the cross, right? So when it came to the G's, it was almost like, hey, listen, Mr. Goncalves, we have Brian. He's the guy. There's no doubt about it. We're going to trial. We're giving him the death penalty. So Steve G acted as he pushed the propaganda that maybe he was fed. And he did that. And he went on this media tour and kept pushing the bullshit. You know what I mean? But then when the time came down, he caught a plea deal. I don't know if Steve G knew about the plea deal. And it seems like he didn't. He didn't care for it. You know what I mean? So now we
Who
see
was
it.
who was the one time when I first came here? You had a bunch of text messages with Steve G and somebody. Who was that?
Oh, I don't even fucking know, dude. I don't even want to talk about it. That's supposed to be someone else. I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
Were those real or were
They're
they
supposedly
like, not
real.
Okay.
I can't think of the person's name off my top of my head, but
You want to know why they looked real? Like at first, like
well,
obviously
I think they
didn't-
are real.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you why I think that. When I first started, like I said, I was following the case, but not researching it, right? But the more like the information I have now, and I'm looking at the things Steve G says, I'm with you 100%. Like I believe, like it might not have been fair for me to say that about the Cronoto family because Anna's mom, I believe, was in jail when this all happened at first.
She was fucked up for sure.
Yeah. So that's probably not.
But
fair
I
to
know
me
she
to-
did come to this community and ask questions. I know. I
Okay.
know for a fact. Now,
But
did the
Steve-
community
Steve-
brainwash her into believing things? I'm not too sure.
Well, Steve G, from the moment like this all went down, he was like the one where even law enforcement couldn't stand him. The judge was like, "Yo, stop running your mouth," like
Right.
and then
Absolutely.
right, and then after this all happens, he's like, "I can't stand." You ever see the one where he says, "I can't stand Bill Thompson. He didn't fight for my daughter."
Right.
What do you think he means by that? 'Cause
In my
I'm still
personal
trying to-
opinion,
yeah.
and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. I'm always wrong. That he believed because of what he was fed, they were going to trial, and they had him nailed to the cross. So that means they had no reason at all to take a plea deal or give him a plea deal. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I think. So yeah.
So
That's
they
what I
fed him the information that, like I said, they fed him the information. We got him. He's our guy. There's no doubt about it, Steve. So, why would you give a man a plea deal if you have him nailed to the cross?
Right. And I said that in my video. I think Steve
name's
thought
Brett
he was going to get a
Norton.
lot of
Yeah,
answers.
that was
he thought he
it.
was going to get a lot of answers because I can understand as a parent, bro. A parent looking at their victim, like looking at their kids that were victims. I can understand why a parent would some some people are like, I don't want to know what happened. But then you got people that can't go on with life because they want to know what happened. There's just different types of people. And I believe he wanted to know everything. He wanted to know, and I honestly
Which is normal for a father. You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm
right.
upset with him with things. Like, if you truly believe BK did that, you should have fucking attacked him. I believe that. That's just who I am.
I'm starting to think that maybe sometimes, did you see how he looked at CrimeCon? So at CrimeCon, the man looks defeated sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
and he
he
talking
looked-
gibberish too. He says some
Yeah,
crazy shit.
I was gonna point this out in one of my videos. Like Steve G looks defeated, bro. He looks like, man, I was duped. And and sometimes I think maybe in the back of his mind he's like, did BK do this?
Yeah, but now it's a money thing. Now it's all about money. If you're suing Washington State and there's $400 million on the plate, and like Steve G still uses that they were sleeping, and we have and this was an early on narrative that they were sleeping.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
we have body cam footage out now. We have Dylan talking, saying totally not that.
Yeah.
We have, Dylan stating, oh, Kelly was up with the dog in the living room. Kelly screamed, said there was somebody in the house. That kills the narrative of somebody was sleeping. Why
Yeah,
is
bro,
the parent still
we had-
pushing that?
We had posts on 4chan, even though it's anonymous. We had people on 4chan saying stuff that came out to be damn near 90% of their stuff that they said was accurate before we even had access to the records. These people are saying things like there was a commotion between 2 and 2:30. Two females in the house went downstairs. One of them wore gloves, blah 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 blah. I mean, I guess you could guess a lot of that stuff and be lucky, but I mean, it's just there were, again, like for instance with Lawrence Mowry, I don't trust him. I don't trust. There's a. I don't trust any of them, but there's a couple of them that I definitely don't like. I believe Officer Talbot, and I have to be careful when I say this, but I believe he purposely messed up Dylan's the jacket and the blanket belonging to Dylan. I think one of the items belonged to her. I think another one of the items was found downstairs, not in the bathroom, but in that separate room downstairs. I don't know if it was the blanket. I think you could see in the photos is on Dylan's bed. So I think it's the jacket. Regardless of what it is, they give it back to Dylan. And when you read the reports and you
Is this the jacket that had blood on it?
Yeah, I think it's the jacket but well, it tested it presumptively. It tests positive, but every time you test something, you degrade it. And certain items you're not supposed to use Blue Star. You're supposed to use Amido Black. But when you look at the ISP team that was in charge of doing the testing at the scene, because everybody that does testing, they have to go through a course. You can't have your local officer that's doing the crossing guard, hey man, go in there and go process that DNA at that murder scene. That's a national case. You don't take the dude that's doing parking lot tickets and do it. No, these people, they are just like how certain doctors are prescribed certain medicine. They have to take an extra course to know how this medicine is. Certain officers are able to process crime scenes, and Detective Talbot is one of them. And he knew not to spray Blue Star on that. He sprayed it all over it.
All right, so you're bringing up a good point of mine and what I've been discussing here as well.
Yeah.
You have Rosendahl turning on his body cam at 2:54 a.m.
Yeah.
You have Molly, a known CI, confidential informant, over at the property. While she's there, you have another car surveilling, right? Seems like it's surveilling the area. We go to the documents. We have a refrigerator that's broken that ruins samples.
Yeah, the refrigerator evidence, yep.
Right. We have a knife sheath that we feel is planted. Who is this evidence pointing to more and more that may be responsible for this crime?
Law enforcement?
Yeah, absolutely, in my opinion.
Law enforcement.
And that's what I'm looking at. Like, who has the power? We could sit here and say the cartel did it. We could sit here and say the frats did it, right? But it seems all the corruption is coming from law. We have a dog that's being kidnapped.
Yeah.
From the dog pound the day of, which is supposed to be Rosie, but I'm not 100% if it was a Rosendahl. But if we're looking at this information, how it is presented to us, it looks more and more that the law enforcement, we got the green jacket, which you brought up. Yeah. It seems like the corruption is coming from law enforcement. So you could say the cartel did it. Okay. You can sit on that high horse. You guys could say the frats did it. That's okay. I understand. But when I'm looking at the case, it's more and more that the law enforcement.
Like law enforcement, yeah.
Yeah, it's looking more like law enforcement.
I am more of.
Shit.
I mean, it's definitely not past me. I definitely believe that. See, where I'm at this point, and it could always change as the more that I look at things, but I believe something happened in the house, and then law enforcement. How do I say this? Law enforcement controlled the outcome after whatever happened in the house happened.
Yeah, but then you got the response from the law enforcement. They're tracking all over the fucking place. Yeah. Like them guys, I don't mean to make this speculation. Them guys could have been the killers, but their footprints are all over the fucking place.
You already know how I feel about this department, so I'm with you. I'm just not sure if I can get past the me personally, because obviously I wasn't there, but I would rank it like this, like somebody in the fraternities or somebody who knew the victims. I do believe there's a drug aspect, but not in the way that people make it seem. Not they're like selling drugs, they're boatloads. No, I think that drugs, maybe the people that committed this crime was under intoxication. Maybe they were doing pills that day. Okay, that's the far as the extent that I think of. Then again, I wasn't there. But right. I believe that whatever happened in the house, I believe that whoever did this to them knew them. Okay?
Or had some type of relationship with them.
Had some type of relationship
because we even see with the cops, we even see that they're partying and they're always there. And I watched one of the documentaries saying that house was the hot house. That was the house.
The prior reports, right.
They always showed up to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
But you have to ask yourself this: Who knew? Who knew Kaylee was gonna be there that weekend? Because I definitely believe. Okay, 'cause out of all four, she the only one
well,
that was.
we could say Dylan.
I
We
believe
could say,
strangled and hit with another weapon.
yeah, but we could say Dylan, but then we don't know because we don't know all the people she's contacted. I'm sure Jack D knew she was going to be there. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
And when you look at the what's interesting, when you look at the broken plea, I like how Christopher Whitcomb put that little schedule in there, right? Something is odd. Again, it's just timestamp, so you really can't tell anything, right?
You
I
mean
don't know if it's me.
the little timeline he's got going on?
Yeah. I don't know if it's me, but something is off about Ethan. Like Ethan's movements.
Well, I think it's off. I think what's weird too is you would expect, okay, shadow ghosts. Some of you get a random text. Your girl's
Yeah.
cheating on you, right? You
Yeah.
get this random text.
Yeah, that is weird.
Wouldn't anyone's response be, I'm gonna text my girl, like, who is this bitch?
said that.
Unless it was
Yep.
something that's been going on for weeks and now you're just ignoring it because you
I
know
said
what I
that.
mean?
Well. It was also addressed. Now I don't know if they were insinuating this. But in the book it says that when they check Ethan's phone, he had 2 other women's number in there, and they were blocked. But it doesn't state that they blocked him or he blocked them. Now,
Was that a Facebook thing?
Oh man, hold on.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I thought it was a social media thing that he blocked these 2 girls or something.
I believe so there was 2 numbers in there, and the way I'm interpreting it is that Ethan blocked them. I mean, how would I know? I don't know. I don't know how it works, but the way I'm reading it is Ethan possibly could have been talking to 2 other girls at the same time.
I mean, it's
I'm not saying he was.
possible. Anything's
Right.
possible.
And so now when you look at it from a different light, you're being cheated on. What if it's like you're saying? What if it's that girl saying, I'm cheating on you, or like when like you're being cheated on, meaning I'm cheating on you. I mean, I'm not saying that. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I'm just trying to make sense about something, because again, like you said, and a lot of people pointed out, it's a random text to send out of nowhere. And if somebody says to me, you're being cheated on, the very first thing that comes out of my mouth is, who? Where are you getting this information from? Why are you saying, I'm going to ask her right now? Or unless it's coming from somebody else that's not Xana.
Right.
Dude, that's where I'm thinking, like, do you understand what I'm saying now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe he didn't say nothing because he knew who they were referring to. But if that's not the only thing that made me suspicious, it's just the timeline. But you also have, like, it shows like Ethan calling Xana at times when they're supposed to be together.
Right, but
Did you notice that too? And so the only thing
but then didn't
I pointed that out too. I'm like, wait a second, why are you you're with her, bro? But then I'm thinking, like, wait a second, like, these are college kids, right? When they go to these parties, bro,
they could be
it could
bouncing
be
all
like-
over.
right. The party could be like connected.
But everyone witness is basically saying that they were at Sigma Chi. I don't know if anyone ever said they were not at that place. So it seems like everyone is just stating, oh, if they seen him, it was there. But I don't know about the treehouse though earlier. But I haven't heard of them being anywhere else besides, besides the Sigma Chi party.
Like where is it at here? Hold on.
I got the pictures too. I fucking got like 50 of them I made, and
What pictures?
I took the timeline pictures of the book, and I snapped.
Oh yeah, I
I
have
did
them
like
too. Yeah,
50 of them.
yeah, I have them all here too. It says right here, Dylan calls Xana at let me see, was it 9:31? Like right here. So after he gets a text, right, saying that you're being cheated on, right?
Right.
It says.
And what time is that at?
Okay, so let's start there. When he first sends it, does he receive it or not? Because it comes back a second time, and I don't know if that's him receiving it or not. It doesn't explain, but it says right here, at 17:03, Erica sends Ethan a message saying, "You're getting cheated on." Right? Then, literally, within that same half an hour, Xana texts Ethan saying she's taking a nap until 8. Bro, think about this, bro. Look, 17:03.
Mm-hmm.
Erica sends Ethan a message saying, "You're getting cheated on." No more than 20-something minutes later, Xana texts Ethan saying she's taking a nap until 8. It's just, I don't know. Like, bro, as a man, all types of shit goes into my mind. Like if you told me my girl was cheating on me, bro, I'm turning into
Yeah, I think any guy is. That's what
I'm
I've
turning
always
into
said.
Officer Brett Payne. Oh, these footprints are new, and like I'm trying to, like it's just weird. So it's like, and then at 17:36, Dylan receives. That's Dylan, right here. Okay, so about an hour or so later, right? The Explorer leaves the King Road house. Okay. When Xana texts Ethan saying she's taking a nap until 8, so are we to believe that they're not together? Obviously, right? So,
Right.
but then the Explorer leaves the King Road. Who drives the Explorer? Ethan.
They tried to put Ethan in that vehicle, right?
Yeah, Ethan. But Ethan Explorer leaves the King Road house. Ford Explorer logs. I would love to have his Ford Explorer logs, bro. You know what they're trying to say is that they have the records from the cars,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so they're able to know where it drove. Where like, okay, so it says at 1926, the Explorer arrives at Kappa Alpha Theta house. In 1959, the Explorer leaves.
When did it get there? Time?
1926, and then it leaves at 1959.
So it's there about a half hour.
It's only there for half an hour, right? The next time, at 20:06, Ethan, Hunter, Maisie, Reagan, Darius, Hannah, Jack, Riley Black, they're all at the Hunga Dunga chilling. They leave the Hunga Dunga and arrive back at Kappa Alpha at 21:06, right?
Right.
And then another thing I noticed here's where it becomes a little bit weird. So at 21:21, Explorer believed to be driven by Ethan leaves Kappa Alpha Theta. Maisie does not go with the rest of the group. She remains at Kappa Alpha Theta. If I'm saying that wrong. 21:24, Explorer believed to be driven by Ethan stops off at Sigma Chi. 21:25, believed to be driven by Ethan leaves Sigma Chi. 21:27. Explorer believed to be driven by Ethan arrives at 1122 King. 21:39. Ethan receives notification. And then where is this next text that says you're being cheated on again? Oh, right here. 1:16 a.m. Xana calls Ethan. Ethan doesn't answer. Right? And this is
And that's 1:16 a.m. So for her to call him, they would have to be separate.
they would not have to be together, right? And
Right.
that's around the time where we're hearing all that weird stuff on Linda Lane.
Right.
I made a video on that. The exact time of that text is when you're hearing some crazy stuff going on at Linda Lane, bro.
And that text is happening. Where are you? So basically, it's stating
Right.
they're not with each other.
They're not with each other. And then look,
And then what's after that?
after that,
Uh,
Lake
let
Lake leaves the house, and Dylan goes to her room. This at 1:22 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Lake and Dylan go. So I get right after that. So literally 4 minutes after this, Lake and Dylan go back to the 1122 King Road residence. So they're back at the house, supposedly watching whatever they're watching, by 1:30 a.m. At 1:22, Kaylee sends a picture of her and Maddie at the corner club. And then at 1:38, there's a picture taken from Xana's phone. So 1:38. And that's what I noticed when I was going through this timeline. We never, ever, Outkast, never, ever, 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 ever hear from Ethan again. The last time we ever heard from Ethan,
Yeah. So we don't
Now,
hear from Xana.
we don't have
so
the full
to
text though.
So you,
We don't have, like, we
Yeah,
don't know, we
probably,
don't have the
right.
full text. So
well, there's probably
Let's keep that in
information
mind.
they don't want us to have. But
they don't want us to have it. So, we
so
have to
you're
go
saying
off
the
what they have.
last thing is Xana making a picture, taking a picture?
Xana texts this guy, Pistol Pete, are you good?
What time's that?
12:20 a.m.
Okay.
At 12:43, Ethan receives notification from Erica, you're getting cheated on.
Is this the second one or the first one?
This is the second one, but remember, 20 minutes before that, text from Xana goes to Pistol Pete, are you good? Now remember, it is 12:20, and I believe, from 12 to like 1:30, I'm hearing all types of crazy stuff going on at Linda Lane, bro.
Right.
I'm hearing it's weird stuff going on, bro.
So maybe, this is speculation. Maybe Pete was cheating with Xana.
That's what some people think, that it was Xana and Pete or whatever. But the one thing that I know, again, got to keep in mind, we don't have all the, just like we don't have all of Dylan's texts, and we don't have anything of Bethany. But if we just go off this timeline, Ethan gets that text, you're getting cheated on the second time, 20 minutes after Xana sends that text to Pistol Pete or whatever, right? But the crazy part is I noticed out of all 4 victims, they're all using their phone, bro. Not Ethan.
Right.
But then remember when the autopsies come out and he's got all that amphetamine in his system?
Mm-hmm.
And some people are like, well, wouldn't that keep him up because it's Adderall and alcohol? And I'm like, yeah, but I can tell you right now, bro, I've seen people geeked up in the military on cocaine and all types of stuff. Like, your heart is racing, but I've seen people become paranoid and still
Right.
from being on too many uppers. People think because you're on a whole thing of uppers, you're like Peter Parker flying all over the place. Nah,
No,
bro. I've
you could
seen
be
people-
fucked up and stuck.
You could be so messed up and your heart's gonna move in a mile a minute and
Yeah.
you're not moving out that bed, bro. You're like, yo, I am tripping right now. So just because your heart is up and that don't mean nothing, bro.
Right,
That means
no,
nothing.
right.
That means nothing to me.
I agree with you. Yeah, you could be stuck, man. You get stuck, you're so fucked up that you can't barely move.
But I just noticed that
It's my chair, Kaylee.
his activity stops, and again, Every time I find something wrong with this case, I find something wrong in another area.
That's why I said when you,
explain
no
me.
matter where you look, you're gonna
Right.
see
That's my whole point.
corruption.
No matter where
Where
you
you
look,
look, no
bro.
matter what you're interested in, DNA, audio, video, fucking,
Yeah.
you name it, you're gonna
Right. Right.
see.
And that's that. Okay. Yeah. You just brought up a great point. The audio, the witnesses' accounts, their phone records. Othram has a contract, right? We'll help you. Oh no, FBI comes in. No, give it to us. We'll. All of a sudden, the sample's big enough. Four brothers, all types of weird stuff is going on. And then the people that you would think you would be looking at, oh no, we don't even have Jack the Court's prince. Who's Jack the Court? Like just weird stuff, bro. And then it just looks like it's like it's it's almost like we're gonna filter out all this weird stuff and we're just gonna keep going down this path. And that path is BK.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's the biggest issue. This is the one case I would say. Good luck to anybody trying to like when somebody says, "Well, they're coming out with a documentary on this case." Good luck.
Right.
You would have to for you to cover everything on this case, bro. You would have to have a part 1, a part 2, a part 3, part 4, a part 5.
Yeah, you would have to stick to one certain topic, and you have a
Right.
2-hour fucking doc. You might as
Right.
well do one on the DNA, and then
Right.
one
You
on
could-
the
you could
knife
do-
sheath. I
You could
mean,
do a documentary on the stuff that happened with Othram and the FBI alone in the chain of custody with the knife sheet. That's not even happening. We're not even talking about the wounds and the time frame. Yeah, you could do a separate documentary on how the audio is next door.
yeah,
If you really want
I
to be,
see
you
it.
know, and the way that I make my content, there's so much I know about this case that I feel like I know about that I haven't talked about yet, but I don't even know how to say it with my style. Then this is why, I need to just say it, but I feel like if I say it, a lot of it is like mumbo jumbo with the court translate. I need to learn how to break it down a little bit better. So
you need to summarize. That's all.
I
You
need to summarize it better because I want to make sure that if I spend time on content, people are going to watch it. Because I know if I just start off and just go, well, let's go to this court proceeding right here.
Yeah, listen.
The
man,
average person
just-
is going to be like, I don't want to hear this.
Just get the
What the hell is
information out
the
there.
SDP profile?
Yeah, but it is what it is. Sometimes you're informing people on things they don't want to hear, and they need to hear. If you feel
I
it's
just got to do
important
it.
enough,
Just like with the haters, I just got to just cut it out and just filter it in.
yeah, if you feel like it's important, if you feel like it's something that you feel people should know, if one person listens to you, that's all that matters. That's how
So
I feel.
what do you think about what I pointed out with the weather and with the
You know what? I
footprint
looked
on-
at the weather and I seen that the snow, and then you look at where the leaves are, and it's just no snow at all. Like not even.
It's what you said that kind of made me think about it even more. When I
Yeah,
watched
it looks
your
like
review
two
of that
different
video,
seasons. I'm like,
said it looks like 2 different seasons, and it's weird because when you look at the report, don't they say I focused on the footprints? That seems weird to me. So you're telling me all these kids are in and out of the house. How do you know that came from him? And again, like people are pointing out, there is no blood on the snow.
mm-hmm.
So what the hell makes you think, oh, well, let me, and then on the body cam, can I get a tape measure? I want to measure. Don't you seem that seems a little orchestra? Hey, can I get a tape measure? I want to look at these prints right here. They look really out of place. Really? That looks out of place to you. How about Hunter holding a knife? That doesn't look out of place to you at all. How about blood is dripping out of the damn floorboards?
Right.
You got 4 people unalive brutally in the 911 call said that the person was unconscious. That doesn't. How about that? Let's start there.
Right.
Like it's crazy. They don't draw their guns not one time.
No, I mean, you would think protocol would be the guy with the knife in his hand who just, I mean, you literally just had a fucking 5-minute phone call stating someone was unconscious. The cop is like Nunes is on his way there. The
Yeah.
operator's coming through his walkie-talkie radio, whatever, in the car.
Yeah.
He knows what he's pulling up to. The operator's telling him what the situation. That's what they do. So he pulls up. He's got a bag defibrillator. Now you got a guy who, had a knife on the ground. It looks like the knife's on the ground. So I can't say Nunes seen that. But then once Nunes puts the bag down, why I don't know, walks in the room, sees the situation. For some odd reason, he comes to the conclusion that Ethan killed her and killed himself. But then you turn around, you see this guy with the knife. You gotta be like, hold the fuck on.
Yo,
I just fucking 5 minutes
yo,
drove here.
Tell me what officer sees a dude with a knife? Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Puts the knife on the table.
I
He
mean,
brings Hunter outside and starts talking to Hunter like
they're boys and shit. Like,
lives here?
dude,
Who lives here? Who's that? Are you serious, my guy?
he should have been in cuffs and been like, even.
Bro, I would've
But
had him
Hunter
up
should have
against the
been more
wall.
like, listen, man, I just got. Like, he does state, like, oh, we got. He's just too calm, too. We got called in the morning. You know,
Jack the
like,
Cord, they put him in the car and he's only in there for a couple of minutes.
fuck.
And then they what was the point of that? Is that for show?
I
Is that
wish
for
I
show
could
to
commit
make-
crimes like that, and the cops, I just lie and be all
Bro,
right.
okay, you know what? I got an experiment for somebody. I would never advise anybody to do this. Call law enforcement and say, yeah, we got 4 people in here. Let's just say they show up and they find people unalive and you brutally murdered, by the way. Go ahead. Good luck saying, I was in here for 8 hours. I didn't notice anything. Bro, they would have the gun to my head, bro. They would be like, what?
Yep. And
Especially if I called it in, like, yeah, there's an first off, listen to that. There's an unconscious person here. Oh, by the way, last night I saw a weird guy come in.
yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to
That's
state.
not
Like,
weird to you?
you had this whole. I mean, Dylan doesn't even know if someone's unconscious. She states on the phone. Is someone unconscious or breathing? I don't know. Pretty much 4 a.m. And it's like, holy fuck, this bro doesn't even know if someone's unconscious upstairs. So, who the fuck said someone's unconscious?
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, is it Hunter?
The table where Hunter is, you can see blood on that table, bro.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to tell me. I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if blood is on that table, right? Think
Right.
about this. If blood is on that table, how in the world is there cups up on top with ping pongs inside?
Right. Unless they're glued to the table, but still,
Like,
we have Bethany stating she hears a bang. So if we got to use knowledge, and which I don't believe her
Yeah.
story anyways, that table fell over.
yeah.
And then someone
Yeah.
picked it up. I don't even know if there's water in the cups or anything in them cups.
I
don't know.
I don't see no water in the cups, but I do know that downstairs, the room downstairs looks very out of place to everything else. By the way, I know they're college kids, but those rooms are trash, bro.
I mean, there's McDonald cups on the stairs. It's like, that's what I was saying. Like, I get it.
And then also I compare the crime scene photos and you could tell like some of them don't look the same. They're either taken on a different day or they moved stuff.
Oh, they
Which
definitely
again,
move stuff.
Again, that is not the proper way to process a scene, bro. You process everything there that day. And yet I'm pointing out photos where you put them side by side and it's not the same, like stuff is moved.
Right.
Right. And they seem to give us more access to Xana's room than Kaylee and Maddie's. Although Kaylee and Maddie's does have when you go upstairs to Kaylee and Maddie's room, you see the blood on on certain areas. But again, Detective Talbot and Officer Payne and Officer Gilbertson's report, I don't know how these guys figured this out, but they're like, yeah, the suspect entered through the glass sliding door. He goes upstairs. He checks in with this room, notices they're not there. Goes to the other room. And don't worry, we know this. The other officer was, taking pictures and timing me as I'm creating this murder in my head. Are you anticipating anybody fighting back? Are you anticipating how much energy that this takes?
Right.
Are you taking into account the non-transfer stuff from scenes? Because the only way he bumps into Xana and is able to do what he did is if he used a different weapon. But apparently they're saying, which, by the way, when you look at Dr. Singh's medical reports or her autopsy reports, her wording to me indicates that it's different weapons. Remember, I just played in one of my videos that Steve G was not only him, but the mother was very confident that they did not believe that those deaths matched. Remember when they were on
Yeah.
camera?
Mm-hmm. They
And they
said
were,
it.
by the way,
Yeah,
this
but
is
my
why-
question to you is, do
Yeah.
you think they did match? Even though
Huh?
do you think they did match?
No,
No, because
No.
do you think there was post mortem wounds?
I believe that the reason why he doesn't match to me,
Like, weren't they
is-
all stabbed in certain areas? That
yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't think the person that unalived Kaylee unalived Maddie. I mean,
so you think it
unalived,
was like a dual attack,
Xana.
like two people?
Yeah, I don't think the person that unalived Kaylee unalived Xana. That's my opinion.
Right.
That's again, just that's my opinion. I could be wrong. I believe whoever did that to Kaylee had a relationship with her. It doesn't have to be sexual, bro. It just knew her. Knew she was there. The person choked, bro. Choking someone is intimate, bro. By the way, choking somebody is very intimate in a way. You're looking at the person when you're doing it. You're straddling the person when you're doing it. I don't believe the FBI when they say we don't know what weapon it is. You have Dylan saying, now I don't believe anything Dylan says, but again, if we were to take her word at anything, she says that she sees an arrow-like weapon bulging. And then Bethany says she hears the flash. And we're not forgetting that, again, around the time of the Banfield stop, I believe I see someone firing a weapon.
On Banfield or on the 1112 cam?
The 1122 King Road camera. I believe I see someone firing a weapon.
Oh yeah, I think so. The time.
I mean, I know people think differently, but again, when I turn the audio up, I hear a pop, bro. That's a popping sound, bro.
Well, I made a video on that, and I believe that I got a video called "Flash and Bang," and
Now, I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong, but that's just what I think.
no. So I think, in my humbled opinion here, right? I believe the audio of 11112 King Road has been destroyed.
They're
They
tampered with. You
yeah,
think?
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
When you say that, you mean with what's his name? Maori.
Whoever, it was FOIA requested, so I don't know if Maori did it or the state did it. They did that. You understand what I'm saying? It is normal practice. At 2:44 a.m., I got the bang
Yeah.
on 1330 Linda Lane, and I got the flash on 1112, and I lined them up perfectly. And you could hear a bang and a flash, but the bang and the flash are the same. You know what I'm saying? The same. The sound matches the flash.
Meaning you would conclude that what we're seeing is actually happening.
Yes, but if you watch 1112 by itself, it's almost like it's non-existent, the sound. Because I feel like 1112 is obviously, that's what I believe, it's tampered with. It was redacted.
Oh, yeah,
It was
yeah.
fucking, it's normal practice for you to FOIA request information like this and them to do that. It didn't have to be Maori in the back room. It could have been just them not giving us the actual, sound. I don't know.
But a lot of the sounds that we hear at 1122 King Road. This is one of the videos I never put out, but I guess I'll try to put it out later on this week if I can. A lot of the sounds we hear on King Road, you can hear on the Linda Lane cam.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Matter of fact, I think we were talking about that last time we was up here.
Yeah, absolutely. I've put
Yeah,
in a lot of work on that
You
shit.
just gotta put your headphones on and you gotta listen closely, and sometimes it's off by a couple of seconds, but you can hear.
I've heard
everything-
I've heard Murphy barking on 1330 Linda Lane at the later times. And it's very, very like, you need to listen.
Yeah,
But I feel it's there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, I feel that way
yeah.
as well. See, but here I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Why the fuck do they mute 2 hours, and then they give us audio of 225, and we all of a sudden we start hearing screaming, yelling, and it sounds like everybody comes to this conclusion that they feel people are being murdered. Why not mute another half hour?
I've always asked that question myself because I can tell you right now, you chose a very weird time, like you said, to start the audio back up.
That's
You
how
could
I
have just
look at it.
You could have just waited, bro. You could have just waited till like 3.
Yeah, remove the audio. Why remove 2 hours of audio, but not the fucking one where everyone's like, "Oh my
I'ma tell you
god,
why.
they're dying there," and it's
I'm gonna
almost
tell
like,
you why. You want to know why I think? Yeah, maybe I could
sure,
be wrong, but I think it's because they know that some of us would go on Linda Lane and hear the audio there. People would be like, we hear. I mean, but then again, just because we would say that doesn't mean they would have to give it to us.
no, right. They're,
You know what I mean? But I
but
think-
they're acting it don't exist, right? And we don't know the truth to that. We
Bro,
gotta take
come
their
on.
word.
I know
mean,
for I don't believe that for 1 second.
no,
I believe
but
that,
you
yeah.
have to take what they give you. I mean, at the end of the
Right.
day,
Yes,
that's what
that is
they're
true.
stating. I mean, I could scream till I'm blue in the face that they're lying because they
Yeah.
most likely are. But it just throws me off a little bit that you're gonna lie about that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna just give us 2:25 to 3 a.m. and we hear all this shit going
And,
on.
and
throws
it
me
turns on
off.
at the time where
You're like, holy shit, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But maybe that's to cover their ass of who's in the who's in the area, who's not in the area at that time.
And that, that also goes back to Rosendahl and Tinsdale acting weird around that time.
Yeah. What do you mean?
The
it was-
Banfield stop never made sense to me. It never made sense.
Well,
to
it's
me.
always to me. It's always to create an alibi. That's
To
what
create an alibi, yeah.
That's how I've always looked at it. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But I'm like, man, these guys. Like, you made a great point today.
Yeah.
With you seen the old footage on Lena's channel where you see these girls fucking intoxicated. You see people getting in a truck that are most likely intoxicated, but there's no tickets written, right?
Yeah.
Or is he written up? I'm not too sure.
In his report, he just states that before he pulled over the people at the Banfield stop, then that's another thing too. He says, I see a group of unknown individuals walking towards the 1122 King Road house around the time I'm doing the Banfield stop. And it says we didn't pull them over for whatever reason, because I guess they didn't see anything on them or they didn't have any reason to. Right? We don't ever
Right.
see any. Who are these people they're talking about? We never see them on the Linda Lane cam, and we never see them on the King Road cam. never
Allegedly,
see
we
these-
don't.
Allegedly, right? Allegedly, I never see no group of individuals, but they literally say that there was a group of individuals that they saw walking towards 1122 King Road house around the time that they were doing the Banfield stop, the plainclothes detail report.
Well, we see them on Banfield, right? Running. Would you say them are the same
Right,
people?
but he's not referring.
No. You're right. He's
Yeah.
referring.
He's not referring to like at first I thought maybe he's referring to the band. He's not. He's referring to a separate group of individuals.
But we do know they do take the pathway.
That is true too. I
You
keep
know,
forgetting
they
there's a pathway. Yes,
and it
yes,
seems
you're
like
right.
that is the move.
There's multiple pathways.
Yeah. But it seems
can
like
go
even
around-
Dylan's stating she's taking that pathway. She sees
Yeah.
Maddie, so it's almost like that's
Right, you
the
got
way
that
to
pathway,
go.
and not only that, but you're right too. But across from 119, where the so-called popping is at, where the cars go past, you can get out if you wanted to and cut through the yard. You can go on Valenta Drive. You can go up Valenta Drive and then just walk through the backyard if you really wanted to.
Right.
I'm just saying it if you wanted to. Which, by the way, I find it very
Well,
weird.
that's why I
the
think
neighbor-
Brian Koberger's fucking inferior. You're trying to make me think he drove 12 times around there and not fucking parked anywhere else, because the smart way would have been to
Yeah,
park on Walanta, park.
he
You
picks,
know
a
what I
very,
mean?
he picks a very odd house to be stalking and doing this, because this house is like out of place, bro. It's like a wide open parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, you could get a different. Like, the worst thing to do is to drive to that place.
Right.
You know? Plus, he's some guy who runs miles, so he's
Yeah.
fit in that category of running. You know, and
Yeah.
you would think that. Why would he do all that?
Then,
it don't make sense.
He lives only minutes away. And this is what I mean by
Yeah.
misleading evidence. So when Bill Thompson is like, we could place him there around those, bro, stop it, bro. You're talking about a cell phone tower. I live in Maryland, and I can tell you right now, I'm in a congested area. somewhat more than compared to Idaho. But I can tell you this: sometimes my phone bounces off a cell phone tower, depending on your provider, and hits the nearby one. So
Right.
when they say, oh, 17, 12, 17 times, there's only you could look at the graph. You could look at there's not a lot within that area.
Right. And
And
then
I
you
and
gotta fit. You gotta put in the fact that they say that's where you go to shop. I mean, of course he's in the area.
Right. That
fucking
isn't
make
that so
no-
misleading? It's so misleading.
Their case was
That's
shit,
why he
bro.
goes out of the way. We cannot make this this is not a sexually motivated crime, and we cannot place him at the residence, and nor can we prove he had any relationship with any of these. But we can place him there around those times, bro. Yeah, sure you can. On the damn cell phone tower that you probably could place him on the next day, and the following day, and the following day, and the following day.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. It's irrelevant. It's almost irrelevant.
You know what I mean? It's like saying, Shadow, we got you on a cell phone. So what? You got me on a tower. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a phone. I have a phone like everyone else on planet Earth.
Right. I agree with you. I don't. You know.
And like I said, I think when they were processing that scene, they did not believe that they were going to anticipate the issues that they anticipated. I think they wholeheartedly thought that when they were going to run this through CODIS, they were going to have multiple individuals. And when they didn't have that, I think they still were confident because they're like, oh, well, we still got Othram. And then Othram, they send it down to Texas, and it's not incomplete because Othram is like, look, you know, we got a SMP profile, but it's not that good. You know what I mean? And then the FBI is like, no, you know, like when there's you're tired of seeing something done, and you're like, I got to do it myself. It's like the FBI standing behind, like, all right, you know what? Enough of this crap. We'll just come and plant this. Like, we'll just get this done and send it right back to you.
No,
It's
I
just
agree
weird.
with you.
Everything is weird. The people's accounts don't match up. But again, the one thing that I will say about this is a lot of times I get to a point where I get the sensory overload. And I'm like, I gotta put this case away for a couple of days. And what I do is I'll just stop for like a week, bro. I'll put all my notes and everything in the living room, and I swear to you, I won't even think about the case. I won't do nothing. And every time I do that, it's one of the best things that ever happens. It's like I decompress, and then when I start back a week later, I start fresh, and then I start finding things that I had issues finding. It's sort of like when a rapper or a person that makes music, what do they call it when they can't write lyrics? There's a word for it.
Writer's block.
Writer's block. It's like writer's block because you have such a sensory overload. The best thing to do is just put it down.
Yeah, you got to walk away and then come back at a different
and come
time.
back. And every time I do that, it's better for me because I start seeing things that I never pick up before. I can tell you this. The story we're given by the survivors, and not just them, but the people out front of that house are not telling the truth. And I don't care what people say. That includes Hunter, Emily, all of them.
Yeah, don't
I
you
don't
find
trust
it
the-
odd that they didn't take statements from the actual kids sitting outside the house?
Completely absurd.
Don't you think that would be basic shit? Like I said, I'm not a cop. I've never, written a statement in my life, but for God forbid, wouldn't you think that information would hold a little bit of weight?
If I'm entering a house, if I'm on my way to the scene, and the 911 operator is telling me that somebody just called and said we have an unconscious person here, but I get there and I see a kid holding a knife saying, I just grabbed this for like, first off,
Yeah, get the fuck on the ground, dude.
get on the ground, bro.
Fuck
Get on the
you.
ground. Not and then
And I'm patting everyone down.
bro, he's letting my
Everyone's
friend
getting
in
patted
the room.
down.
He goes to the guy that had the knife in the hand to get information from him. So who lives here?
How did he get to suicide? Fuck, the cop. How did he get to
I think the
kill
whole
this girl and
suicide
committed
thing-
himself?
If he doesn't know about upstairs, maybe in his eyes, maybe because he can't see. Because I do know when you look at the reports from Ethan, specifically Ethan, I gotta find it. I could be mistaken. I just talked about this in my other video. I believe the way that Ethan was laying on the ground, At first, it was hard to determine what had happened to him because of how he's laying. There's a space. There's a space in the bed, and I'm not sure if he had a blanket over him. I think he might have had a blanket over him, and I believe his head was on the side of where there's a little bit of space leaning, and that the blood is dripping through. Right. So I'm picturing it like that, and maybe he sees Xana, and he's like, "Oh, maybe he killed her and offed himself."
Yeah, but
You
if
know,
you take a
maybe
closer
that's the
look,
first
I
thing that
think
maybe I'm just trying to.
yeah, no, you're giving them a little, leeway. I get
Yeah,
it. Yeah, I get
but
it.
that doesn't mean that it still doesn't make any damn sense, because when you go upstairs and you see two other people, you know,
Right, it has to switch, and then your attitude should switch towards Hunter then as well. Once you
that's
find out,
again when you go, okay, even if we were to give them leeway, let's say we give them leeway for the beginning, which is still insane, by the way. Insane. Once you find Kaylee and Maddie, everybody's underground. Everybody's underground. I'm putting restraints on all of you.
right?
You're not going nowhere. You give me your phone. Give me your phone. Give me your phone. Give me your phone. You stand over there. You get in the back of the car. I don't know which one of y'all did this. And you're telling me you was in the house for 8 hours. Oh yeah, all of y'all are. I'm putting restraints on all of you. None of that. We see none of that.
I agree with you. I've always stressed it out so much when I watch that stuff. I'm like, something's not adding up here. It's not adding up to me.
And I think Nunes he's babying Dylan like a baby. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I try to remember. Oh, it's okay. Hell nah, man. You lucky that wasn't me.
Right? No, I think
You
any
lucky
other
that
cop.
wasn't me. I'd have been like, so you're telling me you waited what? 8 hours? Why?
Why? Why didn't you call 911? Does he even
Why?
ask that question to her?
Why? You just told. Wait a second. You just told me that you that you was terrified. You just told me that you saw her laying on it. Why did you wait till almost damn near afternoon to call us? Nobody does that. Nobody separated. Instead, it's like they're treating them like a bunch of babies, bro.
Yeah, I mean, and then we go from the crime scene to the cop station, and then yet again they're being
And
treated like babies
that's
too.
not even questioning, bro. They're like helping them too. Who lets Dylan look at her phone? Who lets Dylan? Oh, go ahead. Go look at your phone. I don't know who. I still don't even know if you did it, but go ahead. Look at your phone. Here, what are you looking up? Chat GBT to help you out? Like, what are you doing? Go ahead.
I can't ever get over the fact that he told her, like, he said, "What's your number?" and he said, "You could give me anything." Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What is he talking about?
Just in the one that was released the other day, the one that the kid, what was he saying? What was he saying to the officer? Hey, did you check the cameras in the vehicles? And the officer's like, what? He's like, yeah, like, did you check to see if the cameras in the vehicles recorded anything? I know that they have to be off, but maybe some of them they don't have to be on or whatever. And the cop doesn't even answer him directly. The cop goes, I just saw a show the other day, and I just saw a show the other day, and they were able to tell this and tell that and tell that and tell that. And the kid's like, okay. And he's like, yeah. So that just goes to show you the type of capabilities we have here at Moscow Police Station. Bro, you going to answer the question? You didn't even answer the question.
Right.
You didn't even answer the question.
Right.
It's like saying, hey, can you download the SD card off this phone? And I go to you, the other day I saw that the new Fold 8 came out. And it's got a processor on there. It's really fast, and just goes to show you the capabilities that we can do it in store. I got nothing to do with what I just said, bro, but fine.
Right.
It's just everything looks ordained or orchestrated. I don't know if I'm using the right word, but nothing seems right.
No, it seems very orchestrated. It's a good word. It's a really good word. Like,
they
got a narrative.
A couple minutes, bro.
So I was going to tell you that. I was going to tell you. So my last question to you.
Yeah, thank you first off, thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, no worry. Anytime, bro. You know how it goes. But my last question to you is, if you had a gun to your head, who do you think committed these crimes? It could be anything. Let me know. That's my last question. If Shadow had a gun to his head, I need 4 people, 5, 6 people. Who do you think committed these crimes? And it's all speculation.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? What do you think? And you don't got to give me an answer if you don't feel comfortable.
No. I can't sit here and give you a name because I think you know how I am, but I will tell you this. I truly believe that there's more. Okay, number one, if you had to put a gun in my head and I had to say, I believe there's more than one killer.
Okay.
I believe that whoever was upstairs was not downstairs.
Okay.
I believe that whoever committed this stayed in that house for hours.
All right.
I also believe that possibly there could be two groups of cars. I've always said this before, not just one car,
Right.
two groups of cars. And I do honestly believe that whoever did this, I do believe that they planned it for that weekend, and it had to do with Kaylee knowing that she was there that weekend. And I hate to say this because he looks are deceiving, but obviously I don't even have to say this without doubt about Dylan. But I'm having trouble with Jack Decor saying that he doesn't remember a 17-minute conversation, yet the 17 minutes he has on that phone, some of the most craziest stuff we hear is taking place.
Right.
And I just did it. You saw the video I did on that. The time frame he starts from that telephone call is some of the most craziest stuff we hear, bro. I don't believe nothing to be a coincidence in this case.
I agree.
So if I had to go with, I would say that possibly some of the people they were hanging out with that night would be my first guess, followed by the police covering up for whatever reason after finding out that they don't have no hits in CODIS and they needed to calm down everything. And I honestly do believe that the university has a major part in this and wanting to make sure that this place is safe. And if it's not that, then I'm going to go with your theory, which is law enforcement, because everywhere we turn, law enforcement seems to be doing something that I consider shady and not proper, not ethic, not I will say I've never been a big fan of the cartel theory or a drug theory, but again, I would never sit here and say that I'm going to completely disregard that.
Right. I agree.
I can't disregard anything. I can't even disregard Brett Kopacka, the Farley guy, the Demetrius and Emma. I can't disregard any of these people because to me, all of them are suspicious. Molly being there,
Yeah.
Molly McMichael being there, she's an informant.
Right.
Okay, she's an informant, and yet she's delivering DoorDash at 2 something in the morning.
4 something. 3
4 something?
4 a.m. Yep.
Yeah,
I
does
agree with
Molly
you.
does Molly look like the type that's capable? What did she say? I think I have it here.
She worked 18 hours.
Does Molly look like 18-hour shift material to you?
She looks like 8.5 minutes
Looks
to
like she
me.
can't even make it to Walmart and back, bro.
She taking 2 fucking
Yeah,
deliveries
I had
and
an
buying
18-hour
crack.
shift. Yeah, I'm sure you did, Molly. Yeah, no, I don't believe her, bro.
No, I agree with you.
But yeah, that's. I mean, I hope that answer is good enough, but I don't know.
No, it was
And I will-
amazing. It was good.
Oh, I will say this: I'm very suspicious of the FBI's involvement in this case with that SMP profile. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think the FBI did a very shady investigation into getting Brian, and they didn't want that brought up, in my opinion.
well, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, too, for taking time out of your night, coming up here, bro. You know we love you over here at the Outkast podcast. You know,
All right.
we'll keep playing and sharing, trying to get you some followers. And, you know, sooner or later, maybe in a month, 2 or 3, I'll get you back up here if anything
No problem,
breaks.
man. You know, I'll always be there for you if I can, bro. I just gotta
Appreciate it.
coincide with my schedule. All
Yeah,
right.
dude, you know, it's all good. So take care, Shadow Ghost.
Take care,
Thank
bro.
you for coming
Thank
up.
y'all for having me. Y'all have a blessed night.
All right, man. Peace. All right. Oh, look at that shit. Hurry up. Take a picture. Put it on your YouTube. Make a video about the young kid. Shout out Shadow Ghost. We appreciate him. If you don't know who he is, his page is linked below. You'll see the name Blue Rain. It'll say Shadow Ghost. You could click that. You could give him a follow. We appreciate him coming up here and taking the time out of his night. And I didn't ask him one fight. I wrote up a thing, and I had some questions for him, and I didn't read one fucking question because we touched every single thing I was going to ask him. And that's just us, not scripted, having a conversation. You know, we were just having a conversation. He knows some shit. I know some shit. You know, bounce some ideas off each other. And that's the way it goes. So much love to him. Make sure you give him a follow if you don't follow him already. And we're out of here.
I'm just an outcast. Own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. I own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. I'm just an outcast. Own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. I own it, own it, own it. I'm just an outcast, yeah, I'm just an outcast. Don't agree with me, that's fine, cause I'm an outcast. Outcast, outcast, standing on my own path. Say what you want about me, I'm still an outcast. I'm just an outcast, yeah, I'm just an outcast. Don't agree with me, that's fine, cause I'm an outcast. Yeah, outcast, yeah, I wear that crown fast. Truth over narrative, that's the Outkast soundtrack. Copy me, you a copycat. Snitch on me cause y'all just rats. Mad I put a curtain back and exposed all the fake acts. Yeah, I see through the bullshit. Everybody talking but they clueless. I just came with the blueprint. Now they mad cause I proved it. They was laughing in the beginning. Now the room getting quiet when I'm in it. Truth hit hard like a sentence. Now they praying that I stop the business, but I won't though. I expose though. Fake kings wearing fake clothes. I just talk what I know, bro. Truth shining like a strobe though. I'm just an outcast, yeah, I'm just an outcast. Don't agree with me, that's fine, cause I'm an outcast. Outcast, outcast, standing on my own path. Say what you want about me, I'm still an outcast. Outcast, out, 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 out. I'm just an outcast. I'm just an outcast. They hate when the mask slip. Truth hit hard like a casket. Everybody wanna talk loud till the facts get drastic. I was never in the in crowd, always moving like a misfit. Now they studying the blueprint, cause the outcast did it. Yeah, they copied and denied. Act tough, then go silent. All that gossip in the lie ain't nothing but a ride. But I'm built for the pressure. Every bar like a lecture. When the truth hit the room, watch the fake get exposed forever. I'm just an outcast, yeah, I'm just an outcast. Don't agree with me, that's fine, cause I'm an outcast. Outcast.